the demands of your business. If you upgrade your speed, you can receive up to $800. So let's reconnect with internet speeds up to 1 gig and built-in security. Call us at 866-218-2007 today.
A dangerous heat wave is bearing down on portions of the western U.S. Temperatures well over 100 degrees expected in parts of California, Arizona, New Mexico, and Texas. Palm Springs and Phoenix are forecast to hit 114 degrees this weekend, tying their records, and Death Valley will soar past 120 degrees today. The heat will then move east. Triple-digit temps expected to hit places like St. Louis, Missouri, and Nashville, Tennessee as well. Mike, I don't think that we'll have that kind of heat here, but it's still going to be hot.
No, we'll get the 80s, but the 120s, no. But yeah, it's definitely going to start to feel a little bit more like summer as we get into the work week here. But today, we came in shy of your average high temperature here, Richard. 78 is your average high temp for today, but we made it up to 74. Lots of clouds and some showers around. It wasn't a washout by any means, but yeah, we did see some showers here and there. Things are settling back down at this point in time. And it looks like we have another day similar to this tomorrow, but there will be more showers and storms involved. What's happening right now? Lots of clouds, not too much going on with the rain. And we don't expect a whole lot to go on from this point forward through the evening and the overnight hours, but there might be a little bit of rain here and there. We've got 70 in Central Park right now, 73 degrees in Sussex. Winds are real light and variable. If you have any wind, it's coming through at around 3 to 7 miles per hour. Not that big of a deal. And high pressure is just to our south, and that it tried to keep us quiet today. It did boundary that's just to our south, and as they get closer together and there's a lot of moisture caught in between, we get a little lift and the heating of the day It gets out of here pretty early on Monday. Then we keep it fairly quiet as we head into Tuesday, though there's a little disturbance hanging to the south. Right now, we're going to keep it dry in the forecast. We'll have to keep an eye on that because there's a chance we could see a few showers trying to reemerge into the forecast for Tuesday. But right now, I'm not sweating it. Beach and boating forecast for you tomorrow. Small craft advisories have been canceled. Wind heights or wind speeds coming through at around 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights at around 2 to 4 feet. So high surf advisories have been dropped. That's good news. Low tonight drops down to 64. It should be pretty quiet, maybe a few sprinkles. Then tomorrow, showers and storms are in the mix, especially late in the day. So that's all why I'm saying all those activities. Puerto Rican Day Parade, as well as the Governor's Ball, at risk for showers and storms coming on through. But they should be out of here by early Monday. And then on Tuesday and Wednesday, those days are pretty dry, above normal temperatures. But again, we're making it back to the 80s, not 90s or 100. And more storm chances come to you on Thursday of next week as well here. Richard?
Not bad, Mike. Thank you. It's do or die tonight for the Rangers, and Jennifer's here with a look at what's coming up in sports.
That's right, Richard. And this time the Rangers have to pull off a win on the road in Tampa against the two-time defending Stanley Cup champs. Coming up in sports, I'll have why the Blue Shirts feel pretty good about their chances.
Buying a house is complicated, so embracing stuff. Heard it brings good luck.
Well, maybe try Chase My Home. You can search homes and loans together.
I'm not listening.
Shows what you can afford, plus close on time or get $5,000. So you can stop breaking stuff.
Uh-huh. Come on, bring it in. Sorry about your stuff.
Take the easier way home. Chase, make more of what's yours.
Hey! To my new place. I got you a little something. Let's set it up. I still have to choose internet and TV service. Haberdashers. I got Spectrum, best service in town. Tell me more. Oh, I'm loving my Spectrum internet, and the modem was free. Did somebody call AT&T? Internet from a telephone company? Beat it.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month. Call 1-844-285-4999.
This TV definitely needs Spectrum. Spectrum has the most HD. DirecTV got HD. But you got to get into a contract. Contract? That's a satellite contract right here. Spectrum has no contract. And they'll voucher contract for up to $500.
Get Spectrum TV for $49.99 a month.
I'm also putting a TV out here.
Well, I'll take my TV with me.
Yeah, the Spectrum TV app lets you stream live TV and on demand anywhere, on any device.
Come on, let's make a deal.
That's not a deal. I'm getting Spectrum.
You see it?
Switch to Spectrum Internet and TV for just $49.99 a month each. Call 1-844-285-4999.
What's up, my mama? I love her.
They're retired New York firefighters. They work at a Long Island golf club. They love to fish, and they're identical twins. When Paul and Phil were both diagnosed with prostate cancer, they turned to a national leader in cancer care.
We chose Perlmutter Cancer Center at NYU Langone Health. They're on a leading edge of so many prostate cancer treatments.
Perlmutter treated them with a powerful one-week radiation protocol. Now they have something else in common. They're cancer survivors.
Today was amazing. Today was amazing.
Today was amazing.
But my favorite part was being with you.
At Optimum, we know it's time to reconnect. So bit by bit, we're working to make big changes, like building Optimum Fiber, a new 100% fiber internet network, and combining it with Optimum Mobile for complete connectivity. We're giving you more flexibility with no first bundles or annual contracts. And we're here for you with 24/7 support, with your satisfaction backed by a 60-day money-back guarantee. Little by little, progress adds up to something bigger. Reconnecting with you. Let's reconnect.
All about the Rangers tonight. Jennifer Williams here and now, the look at sports.
That's right, Richard. The Rangers are back in a role the squad is all too familiar with. Ahead of Game 6 in Tampa, the Blue Shirts find themselves in a do-or-die situation in their series with the two-time defending Stanley Cup champs. The Rangers trail 3-2 in their series with the Lightning after Tampa scored the go-ahead goal with less than 2 minutes to go in regulations in Game 5. The 3-1 loss snapping the Rangers' 8-game winning streak at the Garden. And while home ice has been crucial throughout the playoffs for just about every team, the Rangers won on the road in both of their previous series and know if they can take another W on enemy ice, momentum will be on their side to close out the series.
You get an opportunity to play in a Game 6 against Tampa Bay in their building, and if you win that game, you know, you feel pretty good about going home. And then if you're fortunate enough to win that game, you're going to the Stanley Cup final. So I like where we're at.
You know, we've been in this spot before, the first 2 rounds. I think, you know, our group as a whole have obviously handled it very well, and I think gained a lot of experience like that. I feel like when our backs are against the wall, it kind of has brought the best out of us.
The more you do it, more confidence you get from it. Obviously, you don't want to put yourself in a situation like that all the time, but I think we've been responding well, and you know, we know what we can do, and you know, just gotta go out there and do it again.
Don't call it a comeback. One legendary Nick might make a triumphant return to the Garden. According to a report in the New York Post, the Knicks are having internal discussions about making Carmelo Anthony an offer. The 38-year-old was a 7-time All-Star in New York, but has been solid in a supporting role the past few seasons. While the Knicks are looking for some affordable depth at forward, a role Anthony filled for the Lakers last season, averaging 13.3 points off the bench. The Knicks' current forwards are Julius Randle, Obi Toppin, Cam Reddish, and R.J. Barrett. Meanwhile, finding a bona fide floor general remains a priority for New York, so minutes might be at a premium for Melo. And we'll end with some action out of the USFL. Second quarter, the New Jersey Generals up 3-0. Kevontae Turpin backs up to return the punt and takes it to the house. 71 yards for the touchdown. Generals take a 10-0 lead and would win 25-23 to pick up their 8th straight win and clinch the Northern Division. And finally, Mo Dangle has won the 154th running of the Belmont Stakes to win the $1.5 million purse. I'll have highlights on Fox 5 News following the Yankees-Cubs game right here, so you want to keep it locked right here.
So Rich Strike didn't make it, Jen?
Nope.
I guess not. All right. Now
not this time.
Now to Mike, who has a final check on our weather. Mike, what are we looking at?
Yes, well, what we're looking at, some scattered showers and storms coming back at us again. We're good for the night tonight. Just a few sprinkles sprinkles coming at you here and there. But then tomorrow we'll see a high of 74. Showers and storms are coming through here for you. Could rough things up in terms of the Puerto Rican Day Parade, the Summer Jam, and all that other stuff. A lot of folks were counting on us. Have an umbrella or a poncho.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for watching. That's it for us at 6 o'clock. We hope to see you again after the game. The Cubs and the Yankees are up next.
Your challenge is use the dish that sent you home last time.
Which returning chef will be redeemed?
It's unedible.
Master Chef Back to Win, Wednesday at 8 on Fox 5.
Escape the tourist traps. Discover something unforgettable at getyourguide.com.
This one is for everyone leaving work.
I know a place. Ain't nobody worried. I'll take you there.
Make time for the Life Artois.
So you guys are here early?
The text said you were bringing McDonald's.
So, should we get right into it?
Nick, there's hot food present.
I can't study on an empty stomach, dude.
Enjoy a savory sausage McMuffin with hash browns, a warm McChicken biscuit with hash browns, or a delicious sausage biscuit with hash browns. Each bundle just $3. Only at McDonald's.
The on-demand world has made us all more demanding. Movies don't come out, they're just out. Even instant noodles aren't fast enough.
Hey, order ramen.
Ordering ramen.
So you need the power of complete connectivity with Optimum Fiber, our new 100% fiber internet. Combined with Optimum Mobile, voted #1 in customer satisfaction. Get both for under $55 a month at Optimum.com. Optimum. Let's reconnect.
Take the stage at HardRockCasino.com. Feel the thrill in front of hundreds of slot games. It's time for your biggest hits. Watch as everything lines up for you. And experience the legendary treatment at our live dealer tables. Join now, get 50 free spins, and take up to $1,000 welcome bonus. Download the Hard Rock Casino app today.
Tonight, 4 of the most prestigious franchises in baseball step into the national spotlight. The mighty Yankees boast the best record in the majors. Powered by MVP favorite Aaron Judge.
That one is drilled to left field. There it goes. See ya. A bullet home run off the bat of Judge.
While Wilson Contreras and the Cubs seek a big road win to help push them towards playoff contention. Led by a star-studded lineup, the Dodgers are keeping pace at the top of the NL West.
Mookie Betts stays red hot. He's the best player on the field.
As they head to the Bay to renew their heated rivalry with the Giants. Greatness awaits on Baseball Night in America. Right now on Fox.
There is Anthony Rizzo. He and the Yankees are on cruise control. They're 42-16, the best record in the majors. And Baseball Night in America has the Yankees taking on the Cubs, Rizzo's former squad. Elsewhere on the country, some of you will see this. Mookie Betts and the first-place Dodgers taking on the Giants. Giants got them last night in the series opener. It's all coming your way in just over 13 minutes. We welcome you to the Baseball Night in America pregame show brought to you by Geico. Come on in and say hello. Great to see you on a Saturday evening. Cameron Maben is here. D-Train, Dontrell Willis is here. I'm Kevin Burkhardt. Cameron, great to see you on Fox. You guys were traded for each other at one point. How fun is this?
Now we're teammates again.
Absolutely.
It's a
This is my
beautiful
guy
thing.
right here.
Hey,
Absolutely.
man, welcome to the team. Great to have you here. A lot of baseball already today. Why don't we catch you all up on the highlights, get you a little feel for what's going on around the game. Blue Jays Tigers, 4th inning, Detroit up. Eric Haas going to add to that lead.
Haase been struggling a little bit early in the season, but this is a guy who the Tigers lean on to be a spark. This is one of the most athletic catchers in our game, and he can do just that, and that's swing that bat.
The triple, we like that. 3rd inning, Twins down 3-0 against the Rays. Luis Ariz, bam!
All rise.
For somebody else. Give the Twins the lead. They would hold on 6-5, the final score. White Sox are struggling. We're going to the 10th inning now, tied at 7. Nathan Lowe going to add to their struggle.
And Nathan Lowe, he's done nothing but hit since he came over from the Tampa Rays. I mean, this guy is nice. He swings that bat. And I love what Texas is doing, making a push.
Start chanting fire Tony for La Russa, the manager, late in that game. Meanwhile, in D.C., how about 3 in a row? First Soto, then Nelly Cruz, and then Josh Bell make it 3?
Screaming, follow that cab from the dugout. You know, that is a beautiful thing. Josh Bell back, and the big man is swinging a hot shillelagh. I love it.
Well, shillelagh. Brewers might lose 8 in a row there. Meanwhile, Cardinals were down in this game. And they're not down anymore. The first career walk-off from Tommy Edman.
Listen, he's going to be an all-star, and rightfully so. Time after time coming up with big hits. Nice little swing on the slider. Down and through. Launch angle, baby.
How about the Braves at home against the Pirates? Atlanta going for their 10th straight win. Started off in the first inning. They were down early. Ronald Acuna Jr. going down and getting it.
You see why I don't want to face him? I don't want to face him in my dreams or personally. He can cover everything. And, y'all need to stop it with the LeBron.
That's LeBron. 7th inning, Atlanta was down 4-2. They scored 8, capped off by Albies in the grand slam.
Ooh, the ball must fly in ATL like a good neighbor. State Farm is there.
Yeah. So the Braves looking real good. Rockies and Padres, 6th inning. Pods up 1-0. Brendan Rodgers off Nick Martinez and going to equalize this thing.
Brendan Rodgers, I mean, nice beard, nice swing. He has been a bright spot for the Colorado Rockies this season.
Funny, you could have said that about Charlie Blackmon, too. A very similar description there, Cam. Well, this is great news for Dodgers fans. Clayton Kershaw warming up. He is back from his bad back. Hasn't pitched since May 7th. He's getting to start, and he was great, remember, before he got hurt. So he'll be on the mound for the Dodgers today. That's the good news. Then there's the bad news, because Dodgers manager Dave Roberts confirming today that Walker Buehler is headed to the 15-day injured list with a strained right forearm. He will miss, quote, a good bit of time, end quote. Buehler exited last night's game. 70 pitches, 4 innings, not long. Dodgers still awaiting the results of his MRI, and you just cross your fingers and hope that it's nothing worse than just that strain. So, look, we don't know how long he's going to be out, but that's not a great quote from Dave Roberts. But we do know this. He's their top dog. So how do the Dodgers react without him?
Well, it's next man up, but that's a huge blow for this talented roster because he is the frontline guy that can go up against anybody ace and a big game pitcher in the postseason as well. But Michael Grove, the rookie, gets a chance to step up and establish himself in the rotation. The rest of that rotation has to continue to throw strikes and give that talented offense chances to win ball games. They did not do that yesterday's ball game against the Giants. They have to put up zeros and get that top of that lineup going with Mookie and Freddie and Turner.
Yeah, going to carry it a little bit. Hopefully Buehler is okay beyond that. Meanwhile, Yankees are more than okay. They've got the best record in the major leagues. They are pitching. And it's really their entire staff. Jordan Montgomery completely under the radar. He hasn't had one game where he's allowed more than 3 runs in his starts this year. And look, the Yankees are a perennial playoff team, right? We know they're a great team. We know they're going to be in the playoffs. But what Yankee fans want to know, Cam, is are they a championship team again?
They are a championship team, and this is the reason why. They lead the league in pitching. They lead the league in hitting. They're second in all of baseball in fielding percentage. So they pitch well, they hit well, and they catch the ball. Those are recipes for success and championships. They have this guy, Aaron Judge. You know what he's doing at the plate. But some bright spots in the lineup, you know, Jose Trevino. I mean, this catcher they brought over for defense, and you look up, and he's batting over 400 in his last 17 games. And then Anthony Rizzo, 3 homers, 10 RBIs in his last 8 games. You know, I know he's looking forward to playing his old team. They have everything they need. They have an outstanding bullpen. The rotation's deep, and they're playing good baseball. So I think it's championship or bust this year for the Yankees, as it is every year, but tons of talent on the field all across the board.
2 things I look at with this club. Luis Severino is healthy and motivated and fired up. You pair him with Garrett Cole and Nasty Nestor. That's 3 different looks for that ball club, and that's the front line of your rotation. The second part of it is Anthony Rizzo. His play, his style, his leadership, his glove, and that timely hitting, and he's been wearing out that right field porch as well. he might be the X factor to get those guys over the hump because he has championship pedigree and experience.
Is this the deepest rotation in the game? I mean, people know, okay, they got Cole, but for Montgomery to pitch like this, for Nestor to pitch the way he's been, I mean, it's been something else. You mentioned Severino, too.
Yeah, there's only one other rotation I think you could say is as deep as they are, and that's the San Diego Padres. What they have with their starting staff, their bullpen, I think that's one of the other teams that stick out to me as far as guys that are healthy right now. I know the Mets have an outstanding group of guys, but some injuries there.
Right.
I think this is one of the best rotations in of all of baseball, and then you throw in that bullpen who is absolutely nasty. You got guys like Clay Holmes and Michael King who just, I mean, they come out of nowhere just punching tickets. It's a beautiful thing to see.
I know 42-16 is pretty good, Dontrell. I feel like I'm not good at math, but I feel like that's a pretty good number. Hey, Fox Bet Super 6 giving you a free chance to win $10,000. Also a big number of Big Papi's money this weekend. Just scan the QR code right now. Download the Super 6 app. Enter your picks for a chance at the big old jackpot. We've got baseball night in America around the country for you. Aaron Judge, maybe the MVP so far, and the Yanks taking on the Cubs. And then some of you will see this one, the rivalry, Dodgers and the Giants. Dave Roberts' crew in first place in the West. Great baseball coming your way tonight on Fox. Diving stop Tatis. That one's going to be replayed hundreds of times.
Yeah, I'm right there.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Love you guys. Oh, my goodness.
Gives them what they came to see.
The story the world is watching.
The bombshell in New York politics.
The story that impacts just about all of us.
I'm not a boxer, but I am a fighter. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, New York Presbyterian took care of me. Their oncology team treated me both physically and mentally. Today, I'm all about getting women screened for breast cancer.
We must survive. If you believe, we must survive.
Someone once said, "Can I borrow some of your strength?" That's what I'm here for.
Faster than the phone companies.
Welcome to New York City and baseball night in America as two iconic franchises match up at an iconic ballpark. It's the Chicago Cubs and the New York Yankees in the middle game of this three-game series at Yankee Stadium. Game one of the series went deep into the night. It was tied at 1 until the 13th inning when the last man off of the bench for the Yankees, Jose Trevino, brought home Joey Gallo, a 2-1 Yankees win to improve their record to a Major League best 42-16. Welcome inside. Hope you're having a great weekend with the Hall of Famer John Smoltz. I'm Joe Davis. So these Yankees got pitching, check. Defense, check. You know they're going to swing the bat, check. 42-16 is representative of what feels like the best team in baseball.
They've improved in every area. That's why they're the best team in the best division, really. They're running away with it at this point. But because they can hit, that's one thing, but it's really been their pitching. This record and their stats really go hand in hand. I mean, you think about what
The Stars, there is no bigger star, of course, than Aaron Judge, and this year there's been no better player than Aaron Judge.
Well, Aaron Judge was talk of the town when the contract didn't get signed. Everyone wondered what kind of years are going to be. Well, it's been pretty darn good. When Aaron Judge is healthy, you can make the argument he's one of the best players in baseball, and especially in this stadium. He is the New York Yankees, and so for him to stay healthy, you see the numbers are outstanding. And when you have these kind of numbers and that kind of really, he's an imposing figure at the plate. He can do it all. Play defense, obviously he can hit. So the key is staying healthy.
For the Cubs tonight, Matt Swarmer is going to make his third Major League start. Go get him, kid. Here's Yankee Stadium, and here's Aaron Judge leading off.
He might be young enough to not know about this stadium. That would be the good thing. But yeah, good luck. You see the scouting report, you just know you got to be on your game today.
One of the many guys the Cubs are trying to learn about in this 2022 season as they take on the Yankees in the middle game of a 3-game series. We're in New York. We've got the Yankees and the Cubs on Baseball Night in America next on Fox.
Feeling like I'm floating to the ceiling, isn't magic. Baby, tell me why you disappearing, is it magic? I won't never tell him how I did it, it was magic. Can you imagine? Feeling like I'm floating to the ceiling, isn't magic? Can you imagine?
Hanging that big old TV with just a little lean. You deserve a delicious Dr. Pepper.
I do?
Oh, yeah, and you're not the only one. Maybe you got the kids to school.
But I was 20 minutes late.
Oh, mama, parenting is hard. And you're sweet that you're doing great.
I just passed this test that proves I'm not a bot.
Not a bot, so hot.
We love our house. Been here for years.
Yeah, but there's an animal in the attic. At least Geico makes bundling our home and car insurance easy.
We save a lot.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
Everyone's excited. Wendy's summer strawberry salad is back.
I certainly am.
Crispy bacon, grilled chicken, and
fresh strawberries. I'm aware.
It's always good to meet another super fan.
Wendy's summer strawberry chicken salad is back.
Sunday on FS1.
Get your engines running.
It's gonna get aggressive right here.
The Cup Series battles on the twists and turns of Sonoma. Kyle Larson looks to reign here again.
Great win, guys.
But Truex Jr. wants his crown back, and road course warrior Chase Elliott is primed for this checkered flag. The Toyota Save Mart 350, Sunday at 4 Eastern on FS1.
Well, if there was a question coming into the season about these Yankees, relatively speaking, it was the starting pitching, but they have not just been surprisingly good. They've been the best starting staff in the American League this season with an ERA below 3. And the man on the mound tonight, Jordan Montgomery, who's in his 6th season. It's really his 3rd full year when you consider the injuries. And, John, he's gotten better and better, and the best numbers of his career so far this year.
Yeah, help this guy out, will you? I mean, this is his 13th start. And he's 1-1. I mean, he can't buy a win, but he's been pitching so consistent and so good. The Yankees will take exactly what they've been given with his outing so far. And there's the breakdown. Look for that cutter to be a little bit more improved and the percentage to go up. But a 5-pitch mix, and I think, you know, I don't know, take the hitters out to dinner a little bit so he can get some run support.
Something. I mean, this guy, 2 or fewer runs in 9 of his 11 starts, 3 or fewer runs in all 11. Yeah, just that one win to show for. How about the lineup that he'll face off with tonight? From the Cubs and their manager, David Ross. Christopher Morel leads things off, and then Wilson Contreras with Patrick Wisdom and Frank Schwindel, their breakout stars of last season, hitting 3 and 4. Haps had a nice year. Gomes comes off of the injured list, his first start in a few weeks. Horner, Simmons, and Hayward at the bottom third of the Cubs order. And that man coming to the plate has been a bright spot for the Cubs this season. Christopher Morel came up on May 17th, hit a home run in his first at-bat, and he's reached in all 22 games. This is the longest streak to open a career in Cubs history, longest streak for any player to open a career in almost 20 years. Off we go as he swings away at the first pitch. 1 hop, 1 pitch, 1 out.
Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, one of the stabilizing pieces of this Yankees defense. And we talk about the pitching, we talk about the hitting, but the defense vastly improved from last year.
Yeah, very much so. And that really plays into every aspect of your pitching confidence. And then the hitters don't feel like they have to score 9 runs, that they can do that. They've seen a couple games where the run production was up there, but for the most part, this has been a pitching-eccentric team where the defense is kind of playing on that momentum of the pitchers.
One away in this first inning for Wilson Contreras. He swings away at the first pitch and cues it foul.
Well, the Cubs are going to be aggressive, I would think, and especially this guy. He's always aggressive on that first pitch. He's having a nice year. The question will be, will he be there at the end of the year? Or will the Cubs move him if they continue on this current trend where they miss the playoffs?
They're one of the last links to the glory days for the Cubs. Wilson Contreras swings and misses at a nice curveball. Be a free agent at the end of the year. They've had extension talks through the years, haven't gotten one done. And so it feels like it's most likely going to be him on the move, like they did at the deadline last year with Rizzo and Bryant and Baez. Contreras probably next. On an 0-2 from Jordan Montgomery. Takes in the dirt. And did that clip him on the way by? He says so. And it did. Contreras hit. Cubs have their first base runner.
Yep, you don't have to be hit in the air. It could be hit on the bounce. And this was a spiked slider that he was trying to backdoor. And if it got him, it barely got him.
Yeah. You look at the back knee.
All over the plate. And yep. That's how you want to get hit, by the way. I mean, from a hurt standpoint, right. Like it won't hurt as much.
And you're on the mound saying, really? Really, if I'm going to hit you? Contreras gets hit as much as anybody, by the way. Top 3 in baseball over the last few seasons. That might be the softest one yet. So he's on. Patrick Wisdom is up.
Patrick Wisdom has a ton of power, but he has a ton of strikeouts. So it's pretty much kind of feast or famine. You see the numbers there, the 226, 40 homers. Nothing to sneeze at there, but 230 strikeouts in 162 games.
So that is his Cubs career now. They acquired him midway through the 2020 season, played just a couple games in 2020, and then came up midway through last year and set a Cubs rookie record with 28 home runs. But you're right, he's had the #1 strikeout rate, as in the highest strikeout rate in the majors since joining the Cubs.
And what comes with that, he's also averaging the most pitches per at bat. So he's taking a lot of pitches, working the count, but then getting deep in the count. And the feast or famine approach with 2 strikes is kind of self-explanatory there.
On a 1-0 pitch, he swings and misses in front of a changeup.
You know, it used to be, as a starting pitcher who used to hit, that was my mentality. You got nothing to lose. Swing. I try to swing for the fences every single time, once every 5 days. But that's a little different than, let's say, having 4 of those guys in your lineup. It's a little difficult.
That's one thing, John, to the Cubs' credit, where they have improved this year. The walks have gone up and the strikeouts collectively have gone down, as they've gone to a little more of a contact-oriented approach. But it's going to take time before there's a complete shift in that.
Yeah, absolutely. And this guy is the one unique guy where you're going to take what he gives you. I don't know if Montgomery will go upstairs right here, but he's really struggled with elevated pitches. His swing and miss rates higher the higher the pitch is. But their identity, they're trying to figure out a way to grind out at bats. They don't have a lot of power. We talked to David about that, and that's what they're trying to figure moving forward.
Cubs out-hit the Yankees last night, 9-6, but just the 1 run because they went 0 for 9 with runners in scoring position. And back to the last few games, they're 0 for their last 33 with runners in scoring position. That's how you lose a bunch of close games like they have. Dropped 4 in a row, 3 of those in extra innings. Montgomery really paying a lot of attention to the catcher Contreras.
Yeah, no real need to right now, but, you know, Being left-handed and getting that out, you got such a huge advantage being left-handed, seeing the runner and then having the deceptive move.
'29-year-old out of Sumter, South Carolina, Jordan Montgomery comes home and strikes out Wisdom. At the knees, 2 away. Only Eugenio Suarez of the Seattle Mariners with more strikeouts than Patrick Wisdom.
Yeah, good low ball hitter, but he thought this changeup was going to be below the zone, and it kind of held its plane right there. You could see the catcher doing a nice job. He didn't really need to raise it.
Runner at first, 2 gone. Frank Schwindel, cleanup man for the Cubs, jumps out of the way, ball 1. Schwindel was claimed off waivers from Oakland last year. At that point in his career, he was 4 for 45. Got a chance when the Cubs sold off at the deadline, and then what he did, he was basically Mike Trout statistically for 2 months. I mean, it was completely shocking. Hasn't been able to match those numbers, although he's been better the last few weeks. He's out in front of a good change, and it's 1-1. Schwindel this year was headed to AAA. This was in early May, sitting around 200, striking out way too much, didn't have the power. He got a nail in his tire before he drove down to Des Moines, so he's getting his tire fixed, didn't leave in time. And while he's getting his tire fixed, he gets a call. Don't go to Des Moines. Actually, we have another move. We need you to come on back to the team. But we already left for San Diego, so we got you the last ticket on the plane. You're going to sit in the middle seat. But you're going to be back in the big leagues. Yeah, and he's been a much better hitter in the months since. Now a 1-1 from Montgomery. Takes in the dirt, ball 2. There goes Contreras. Here's the throw. He's out. Jose Trevino, who won last night's game with a walk-off hit, ends this first inning by cutting down his counterpart Contreras.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission products. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep. We do better when our clients do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
You know, we humans have come a long way on our journey. Our first language wasn't exactly, a language. Our first vehicles weren't the fastest. Our first phones weren't smart. Text mom winky face emoji. And the first electric vehicles weren't, let's just say they look nothing like the first ever Ioniq 5. Two-way charging, 300-mile range. The point is, it's been a long journey, but worth it. Evolve your journey. The fully electric Hyundai Ioniq 5.
Welcome to Allstate, where the safer you drive, the more you save. Like Rachel here.
How am I looking?
Looking good. The most cautious driver we got.
Am I there?
No, keep going.
How's that?
I'll say when.
Now? Is that good?
Lots of cars have backup cameras now, you know.
Those are for amateurs.
There we go. Like a glove, girl. Safe driving and DriveWise can save you 40% with Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
Yankees coming to bat for the first time tonight. Let's see Aaron Boone's lineup. They've done this a few times this year. Aaron Judge leads off. Josh Donaldson and then former Cub Anthony Rizzo. The heart of the lineup, it's Stanton, Torres, and Hicks. Isaiah Kiner for Leffa, Jose Trevino, and Joey Gallo, who's heated up over the last few days. Matt Swarmer, a 19th-round draft pick out of a Division II school, Kutztown University in Pennsylvania, makes the majors as a 28-year-old in 2 starts against 2 good teams. He's given up just 1 earned run.
Yeah, he's funky, and he doesn't throw a lot of pitches down the middle. He's going to move his cutter fastball in and out, and he throws a ton of sliders. And there's your basic split is 2 pitches, and his work's cut out for him today. He better have a really good slider. He throws it 2 different ways. And we could spend all night on the statistical categories that Judge leads in.
And it's Judge to greet him, taking a ball.
Judge is crushing fastballs. Opposite field power is something he's so known for, but he's going to have to stay off the slider. I would think Schwarmer's going to want to get him to chase the slider off the plate.
Wow! Way up there. Back goes Happ. It is gone. It brings rain. 23rd for Judge.
Well, like I said, we could spend all game on Judge and what he's been able to do, but he is mashing fastballs. And I thought going into this game, Schwarmer might throw 2 fastballs to him and 2 at-bats. Well, he threw 2 of them in his first at-bat, and he didn't get it back.
On pace to match Roger Maris, 61 and 61. And he actually probably just jumped that pace a little bit with his 23rd of the year.
Yeah, this ideally on paper was going to be a really tough matchup for Schwarmer, making his 3rd start.
Josh Donaldson now off balance, pops the first pitch up. Patrick Wisdom for the first out. I mean, it's hard enough settling into the big leagues, coming and pitching at Yankee Stadium, and then this guy's the first one you face.
Yeah, and what I meant by a tough matchup is because he doesn't throw 96, that's okay. He just has to be perfect with his fastball placement. I thought today we'd see a record amount of sliders out of him based on this lineup and the way that they are. Even though they're a good slider hitting team because they face a ton of them, it's still the best pitch he'll have for success if he gets through this lineup.
Former Cub Anthony Rizzo takes a fastball outside 1-0. So Rizzo facing the Cubs for the first time this weekend since the trade at the deadline last year that ended his 10-year run with Chicago. And then re-upped this offseason, a 2-year contract with the Yankees. And even though the numbers haven't been spectacular overall, they rave about everything that he's brought outside the numbers.
Yeah. See, this 2-0 pitch should be a slider. I don't know if he will with the short porch and the 2-0 count. Yeah, that's the right pitch. He just needed to start it a little bit higher. And walks are going to be okay, even though you don't want to walk a lot of guys in theory in the stadium. But if you get behind an account with the kind of stuff that he has, you got to rely on the secondary pitches because the fastball has got to be spotted perfectly.
That one was, and it's 3-on-1. 3-on-1. Come on back, Anthony.
Top of the zone strike 3-0. Normally you don't get that call, but he's previous starts that I watched, he really did a good job pitching to the quadrants of the corners and staying out of the middle of the plate. And if you do that and you get the hitter thinking about those pitches on the corners, that slider becomes that much better. He can break it vertical or horizontal and sweep it more.
This one's grounded to first. To the bag goes Schwindel, and Rizzo's out number 2. That's something you did early in your career when you were pretty much just a 2-pitch guy, but it was like having more than 2 pitches because the way you changed
Yeah,
shapes.
just a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, 4-seam, and a slider. And I learned just from asking questions because I didn't understand why guys were swinging at it, but they couldn't pick up the spin because I was throwing it off my fastball where it would end up. And then when I learned that I could change break and speed on it, it created like 2 pitches in one. And then as I got older, learned how to pitch on backdoor sliders, front door sliders. That whole idea that you're given the opportunity to learn, which a lot of guys today aren't given that opportunity to kind of struggle and get through it. The Cubs are in that position to find out a lot about young pitchers right now, even if they're not winning a ton of games.
Giancarlo Stanton watches this slider catch the bottom of the zone 1-1. Yeah, they were even before this weekend. And this weekend they had Marcus Stroman placed on the IL with shoulder inflammation. Today Wade Miley was placed back on there after leaving last night's start. And so a guy like Schwarmer's got a chance to go on the job here. Gets a chase, and it's 1-2.
See, he's funky with his arm action, right? The hitters aren't going to look at his leg kick, but the leg kick becomes a distraction. And because his arm isn't a normal swing, it kind of pauses a little bit. It's funky enough to where he can get away with those kind of swings from hitters.
Back to the fastball, and it's fouled back.
But that's the pitch with 2 strikes. He's going to have to be better getting it up. Change the eye level. And here's the motion, all right? See how his hands are high? The leg kick gives him his arm a time. See how it goes straight back almost? And then he lands almost on a straight leg. So it's funky. And the fastball probably looks a little firmer.
Back to the slider, a little bit low. Swarmer to Stanton, 2-2 pitch. Another slider, and it's foul again. Stanton's having a good year. Of course, the whole thing with him is, can he stay on the field? He's on the injured list recently with an ankle injury. Outside that, has been healthy, and really for the last 2 seasons now has been mostly healthy and mostly productive. On another 2-2 from Swarmer. He rips a bullet foul.
See, and he's getting a lot of looks at that right now. When Stanton gets 5+ pitches per at bat, his numbers go up. When he's struggling, it means he's swinging early and missing the pitch and not recognizing it. So now he's gotten a look at that slider. The only one he should swing at, or the one he should throw, is to start it over the middle of the plate and have it vertical drop. That's the one he'll swing over the top of the plate.
Going deep into the at-bat. That's the pitch he wanted. Stanton laid off. Count goes full.
And if that was closer to the middle of the plate, he would have swung at that. That's the difference and the height difference that you have to have. I wouldn't be surprised to go right back to it. See how that's on the outer side of the plate? That's the reason he was able to check up. If that starts along in the middle.
On the 9th pitch, flies it to center. Morel's going back onto the track at the wall. He's got it. Christopher Morel goes up to get it and end the inning. Now Morel, who is an infielder by trade, didn't start playing the outfield until a couple of years ago in the minors, has been solid out there. Goes up to catch this one. But before that, the leadoff man, Aaron Judge, with his major league leading 23rd home run of the season. Off and rolling in the Bronx.
Welcome to the future. Some assembly required. But if there's one thing this country has always embraced, it's a challenge. And after almost 120 years of building for those challenges, we're taking the vehicles you know by name and making them electric by revolutionizing the way they're built and where they're assembled. Not for the few, but for the many.
Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Because grilled to order makes a sub above.
So I said, yeah, you're saving hundreds with the home and auto bundle from Progressive, but there's no saving that casserole.
I just love that word bundle. It's so fun. So, 2 things coming together like a force of nature. Like it was really meant to be,
Yes. Yes, I do. I'm so glad you want to save money. Rodney, set up a bundle for John Hamm.
Of course. John, is it still cool if I catch a ride home with you?
I never said it was.
Yeah, but technically you didn't say it wasn't.
It's not.
Yet.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Now this is a celebration. The finals, when 60-foot prayer can get answered at the buzzer.
It's more like 61 feet.
I mean, you gotta be great from game 1 and game 7. Because when the champagne stops popping, does anybody know what's left?
Legendary status, my man.
Yes, Dirk. Exactly.
Oh my greatness.
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
Yankees have a 1-0 lead as we go to the second. Frank Schwindel at the plate. He was at the plate when the first inning ended with Jose Trevino throwing out Wilson Contreras. Jordan Montgomery goes back to work and spins it in there for strike 1.
Well, Trevino, I mean, that's textbook on how, to block a ball and then get up and throw him out.
He's been really good. And they knew when they got Jose Trevino they were getting one of the best defensive catchers in the American League. The surprise has been that he's hit as well.
Yeah. Big time bonus.
0-2 pitch.
Changeups are a big struggle for Swindell. Fastballs in and changeups been his biggest kind of swing and miss type pitch, and that's where Montgomery's been early on, just saying, all right, I'm going to attack you with where you got to show me something different before I change my approach.
Home with another 0-2. Goes up with a fastball. Schwindel protects. We'll do it again. Schwindel's a local guy. Grew up a Yankees fan in Livingston, New Jersey. Had about 100 friends and family here this weekend. And another 0-2. Lays off. Ball one. Swindell, 29 years of age now. Debuted at the Royals in 2019. Went 1 for 15. Got DFA'd. Didn't play in the majors in 2020. 8 games with the A's last year. DFA'd again. He says, though, he never thought about quitting. He said, I'm going to play until somebody tells me I can't. So until somebody takes the jersey from me. Got another chance with the Cubs and his run with it.
Having a hard time getting on the key on what pitch to throw. I'd be careful with breaking balls with him. I'd lend it. I'd see the changeup before I'd see another breaking ball or a fastball in.
Back to the change, would have missed.
That's what I miss most about not playing. Is not the obviously miss the competition, but the cat and mouse game. Getting the information, figuring out how I'm going to use that information to get through the lineup a few times, right? Just to see what a hitter's thinking. And obviously he's missed his location now. He had him in a tough spot and he got back to a neutral count. So with nobody on, you have a slew of pitches you can go to, but I would think a 3-2 changeup would be the pitch he goes right here.
He's throwing a bunch of them to Schwindel. Leaves this one up, and Schwindel knocks it into center field for a leadoff base hit.
Well, he threw the changeup, but he got it up.
Frank the Tank, as they call him. Liberty Mutual player profile for the Livingston, New Jersey native who stayed in the area, played his college ball in Queens at St. John's. And now playing at Yankee Stadium, the park that he grew up coming to games at for the first time.
That's pretty cool. All right, they get this report too. Montgomery knows Ian Happ loves the first pitch of the at-bat.
Outside, ball one. Happ has had a really up and down career. Flashes of being great. Demotions to AAA. He had a fantastic finish to last year, and it feels like for the first time, maybe in his career, he's sustaining that upward arc.
Yeah. High level of emotion he plays with his, hair on fire, which you love. Switch hitter. What was it? 2-3 years ago, he led off the season. First pitch with a homer, and you think, oh, here we go. And I think he got sent down that year shortly after. So, he's been trying. This is his moment really to kind of go to that next level. All the expectations he had when the Cubs were in a winning situation.
We talk about a lot of these guys having a chance to audition to be part of the future. He's somebody that coming into the year you said, probably not, just as inconsistent as he had been, even with how good he was late last year. But he might be thrusting himself back into the plans.
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunity with being a switch hitter if he could show that his strikeouts are cut down, a little more consistency, plays the field well.
Yeah, those strikeouts are way down. And then the other thing that he's done much better is this, hit left-handed pitching. He's got Schwindel at first. As Montgomery deals 1-2 and Happ lifts a fly ball to center field. Hicks started back, now comes on, still coming. He's got it. Aaron Hicks went the wrong way to begin, recovered well to retire Happ.
Most center fielders will tell you that's the hardest play in baseball. Big swing, but you can't read the ball off the big swing, right? The big swing usually means the ball's going to carry more. Here's the big swing. You can see Hicks in center field. Big swing, and he thinks, all right, it's going back. But the ball never gets that way, and he makes a nice recovery. And the runner, of course, is in no man's land because you don't know what to do if that ball drops. Got to go a little halfway. Hicks, he has a cannon as well, so.
One away for Yan Gomes. Veteran catcher watches a curve catch the outside corner for a strike. Gomes starting his first game in a few weeks. Missed time with an oblique injury. Guy they brought in so that they could get comfortable giving Wilson Contreras a few more days off. The DH being present in the National League helps that. Contreras in there today as the DH. Gomes catching. And poking one right side. Torres ranges over. Throws it away. Backed up by Trevino to keep Schwindel at second. But Gomes aboard with one away here in the second inning.
Oh, wow, Torres is going to be kicking himself. You realize you're trying to make the throw all in one motion, but I think he may have forgot who was running. And he had a little more time. When Rizzo's got to get to the bag, watch the angle difference, all right? That ball's hit off the end of the bat. Now Rizzo gets to the bag anticipating the throw is going to be to the right field side, and it actually was to the infield side. Again, he would have had a little more time had he planted, but playing a good second base. Aaron Boone said he has really been a pleasant surprise, but you could see where Rizzo was expecting the ball to go. That's why he was set up on the outside part of the bag.
So Nico Horner with a run scoring opportunity here, but he promptly pops it up. Shallow center, Torres for out number 2. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Ford, built for America. And by Progressive Insurance. Progressive offers 24/7 protection when you bundle home, auto, or motorcycle. The Cubs now 0 for their last 34 with men in scoring position. That matches the longest 0 for in franchise history. Last night they went 0 for 18 and a 2-1 13-inning loss. Up to Andrelton Simmons with 2 on and 2 out. Strike 1.
This is puzzling for me to see Andrelton Simmons struggling at the plate as bad as he is. And really against left-handers, I always felt like this guy was in between trying to be a power-hitting shortstop. You know, the identity at the plate never fit with the identity in the field. One of the greatest gloves.
Ground ball to short. Counter for Leffert to the bag, and the Cubs waste another opportunity. Stranding men at first and second. Middle 2, 1-0.
Introducing the all-new Wanna Get Away Plus fare. Want to give your flight credit to your mom so she can visit?
Go for it.
Want to turn your trips into rewards flights faster?
Be our guest.
Want to plus up your trip? Now you can. The all-new Wanna Get Away Plus fare. It's still bags fly free and no change or cancel fees, plus so much more.
Did you sort through that already?
Yep. Found last week's Roman delivery.
Oh, you did? Save that one for later. Is this original? Our first concert together.
We danced all night.
3 encores.
Panther wagon.
How much for the shirt? Not for sale. Yard sale's over.
Roman makes it simple and convenient to take care of ED. With Roman, you still got it.
Excuse me, green tea, music for a sushi restaurant. I'm not going to get lost. Thank you.
Ace now offers free assembly and delivery, so it's never been easier to get a great grill for your family, like a Traeger wood pellet grill, Weber gas grill, or Big Green Egg charcoal grill, only at your neighborhood Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It's still the E-Fresh Refresh, and now Subway's refreshing their classics, like the sweet onion teriyaki sauce topped on tender shaved steak. That's a real slam dunk, right, Derek?
Wrong sport, child.
Just hold the sub, man. Subway keeps refreshing and refreshing and refreshing.
On an Aaron Judge home run, Yankees 1, Cubs nothing. Bottom of the second, Gleyber Torres. The rookie Matt Swarmer comes home, and Torres swings and misses, strike one. And a resurgent year for this guy, who last night hit his 11th home run, John, which is one shy of his total from the last 2 years.
Amazing. We talked to Aaron Boone about, the transformation of it. And look, humble pie. And he said, it's hard in the big leagues. This guy was their best hitter a couple years ago. Clutch, did everything he had to do, came over from the Cubs, of course, and then he fell like a lot of players do, and his attitude has allowed him to be in this position again.
Fouls this one off.
And you look totally lost, right? You lose. And I think in sports, it's interesting to figure out, like, when you lose your confidence, what you're chasing results. You get out of your mechanics. You get out of a lot of things, and he looked completely lost at the plate, and he's made significant changes, and maybe confidence is coming back, and because they're obviously so much better when he's doing this, right? Lengthens that lineup.
He was an all-star both of his first 2 years as a 21-year-old and a 22-year-old. Basically replacing Didi Gregorius first, but in a lot of ways he was one of the guys that followed Derek Jeter in the middle infield.
Yeah.
There was never a moment that looked too big for him in those first couple of years.
He was a stud with 2 strikes. Oh. He was absolutely what you want. Fight it, and get the pitch you want and then not miss it.
On a 2-2. Lifts a slider to center field. Happ coming over from left. They're coming together. They both wanted it. Morel will get it. Or the first out of the inning.
He's the captain. Center fielder's the captain. Gets all the ties.
Been an adventure so far for Morel. Got that ball up against the wall to finish off the first inning. He gets this one to start the second. And now Aaron Hicks. Went 0 for 5 last night, but prior to that, some signs of life. 3 straight 2-hit games in Minnesota. He's been healthy this year. He just has not been good prior to this week, really. On an 0-1. Can't lay off. Strike 2.
Obviously, the Yankees seeing this guy for the first time. They'll watch video, but until they can see the break on the slider, which they haven't, been able to have a lot of good swings other than Stanton almost hitting a home run on a high breaking ball. He's done a nice job with that vertical break. He breaks it 2 different ways.
Off balance, flips it down the line, and foul. Hicks had a great 2018 season. Parlayed that into an extension. 7 years, $70 million. But injuries have told the story since then. The back and the elbow injury that led to Tommy John in 2019. Last year, wrist surgery. Played just 32 games. Another one fully healthy season. 2018 hit 27 homers. Was as valuable as anybody outside Aaron Judge.
Yeah, he is so gifted, and that I'm sure he doesn't want to talk about his injuries and being injured and his back and some of the things that has kind of kept him from being the complete player that the Yankees, of course, when they acquired him.
1-2 on the hands, short right field. Andrelton Simmons feeding Swarmer. I beg your pardon, that is over there in the shift, Nico Horner. The shortstop playing in short right field. So what do you got there? Like 6 at 9-ish, 3.
Yeah, I just put down 4-1.
Or 1, right.
I just put that down because that's second baseman's ball. But, you know, that's just me.
It's no fun, though.
That's true.
This won't be a thing next year.
Correct. Amen.
Left-handed hitters everywhere saying, thank the Lord.
Oh.
2 up, 2 down in the second. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa grounds the first one that he sees to Nico Horner from his traditional spot. Any way you slice it, it's 6-3.
Don't miss an all-new Master.
Some things in life are worth waiting for. A new heart shouldn't be one of them. And with the most innovative approach in transplants, we can find and deliver hearts to patients that other hospitals overlook, making us the #1 heart transplant center with the shortest wait times in the Northeast.
The ones you love should always have the best care. At the only hospital affiliated with not just one Ivy League school, but 2, Columbia and Weill Cornell Medicine, with the doctors that other doctors learn from, nurturing patients with care that heals us all in new ways. It's our doctors and their compassionate teams that make up New York Presbyterian, so that you stay amazing.
I'm not a boxer, but I am a fighter. When I was diagnosed with breast cancer, New York Presbyterian took care of me. Their oncology team treated me both physically and mentally. Today, I'm all about getting women screened for breast cancer.
We must survive. If you believe, we must survive.
Someone once said, "Can I borrow some of your strength?" That's what I'm here for.
Stay fabulous. Resorts World.
Stokes on the 5 o'clock and the 10 o'clock news.
Aaron Judge hit a home run. What's new? The Yankees up 1-0 as we go to the third. We've got a special guest joining us for this third inning over in that Yankees dugout. It's Nestor Cortez. Nestor, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Doing okay. I guess that's a stupid question by me. We're showing your numbers right now. How you doing? How much fun you have having this this type of success this year?
Oh, it's incredible, especially to do it in the stadium. Obviously, with this, with these fans and this team, it's been awesome so far.
Jason Hayward leads off this inning and takes a strike from Jordan Montgomery.
You know, baseball's so momentum oriented, and right now your pitching staff has got it going. And I got to imagine it's got to be a lot of fun, each guy that takes the mound.
Definitely. We're here always rooting on the guys on the mound, and it's pretty special what we're doing right now. And, I mean, we're just having fun with it, to be honest. You know, with these guys, obviously with Garrico and Sevi leading us, I mean, you know, us three after that, I mean, we're just having fun with it, and it's been great so far.
We got to get the guy in the mound a little help in terms of run support, though, huh? Montgomery's been awesome, but one win?
Yeah, he battles every time he's out there. I mean, I feel like, you know, people don't give him credit for what he does, but he's a dog when he's out there, and he's been showing it so far.
They ruled that an error on Kiner-Falefa, and so Hayward's aboard to start the inning. Back to the top and Christopher Morel. First one from Montgomery. Morel lays the bunt down. Montgomery will take the sure thing at first. Into scoring position goes Hayward, 1 out.
Well, what's awesome about your staff is you got a couple flamethrowers, and then you got guys that, you know, pitch. And I love that part because it's a great mix. And you're showing what happens when you pitch. I mean, you don't have to have 98 to be successful. How have you embarked on an era where everything's velocity and spin rate, and here you are dominating.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would love to throw 97, 98 every time I'm out there, but no, it's been fun. You know, I think people respect what I do. Obviously, I play with my heart on my sleeve every time I'm out there. I try and give my 100% every time I take them out every 5 days. I think the guys are aware of it, so it's just fun to be part of this team and to compete with them.
Wilson Contreras takes ball one.
On that note, how do you stay fresh when it isn't every 5 days? You got a little extended break, I guess, this time before your next start.
Yeah. I feel like they're managing my innings, and I mean I'm all for it. Whenever I can get the ball, I'm going to compete and I'm going to give my quality innings when I'm out there. But like you said, having that extra rest, sometimes it's helpful for us because obviously everybody knows it's a long season, and I just feel like you get to get your feet on and just battle when you go out there.
21 on Contreras. When did you start messing around with timings and deliveries and different looks?
I want to say 2019 when I first got my real stint in the big leagues. I think I started doing the minor leagues a little bit, but I didn't do it on a consistent basis. And when I got here, I kind of did it, and people liked it, and I was having a little bit of success with it, so I just ran with it. And for now, it's been working. Hopefully, I can continue to do so because I enjoy doing that stuff.
I know the guys enjoy playing behind you. You're good and you work quickly, but I heard that you haven't always worked quickly until your dad said, "Come on, hurry things up." Yeah,
back in high school, I mean, I used to grab the ball 10, 15 steps in front of the mound and walk back and just take forever. And he's like, you're just wasting time and you're wasting energy. Just get the ball and keep pitching. So that's basically how I do it now.
What were you doing? What were you walking around for?
I don't know. Just I thought it looked cool to come up and grab the ball right in front of home plate. So just that long strut back just got me at times.
Intimidate him a little bit, right? Yeah. Here's a 2-1. Contreras cracks it on the ground to short. Kiner Falefa steps into one. 2 out. Time for the Indeed player resume. Nestor Cortez, who did not have a direct route to get to this point where he's top 5 in the American League with a sub-2 ERA. Given this journey, Nestor, how much more special does that make what you're doing this year?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, I took about 3 years to actually find myself here in the big leagues. With having success in the minors, I didn't know how to translate it to big leagues. And it took a while. And it wasn't until after that 2020 season where I realized what I needed to do and how to better my pitch package. And thankfully, I signed back here in 21. And the guys that we have here, have helped me out tremendously. I think, bringing that new slider that everybody's throwing out here in the organization, and just knowing what my pitch package was and understanding it has helped me, a lot. Really.
Yeah. What I was going to say is how much overkill information, or how much information do you take in? How do you balance all that's thrown at you and still function? When you have all this information about hitters and et cetera.
Yeah, I think you just got to, take it with a grain of salt, to be honest. Obviously, I think to be here and pitch on this stage, obviously, what works and what you have going on. And, when you get information thrown at you, you just got to take it and see what works, and just battle with it, to be honest, every 5 days. Not trying to think of what you're doing out there, but every time you take them out, just compete.
0-2 on Patrick Wisdom. Jordan Montgomery trying to pitch around the leadoff air. Hayward at second. And Wisdom trying to crack the code with runners in scoring position. Cubs are 0 for their last 36 in these situations. Montgomery deals. Wisdom swings and misses. What do you think, Nestor? He would go down to that, huh?
I'm telling you, he's a dog when he's out there, so hopefully he can continue to do so.
Nestor, really appreciate your time. Continued success, my friend.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
This summer, dinosaurs are in our world.
Pet dinosaur? I'll take care of you. Nice and quiet.
Hey, look, it's your mom.
Hot dog?
Renee, bank manager and mom of the year. But when she gets on her bike, she becomes Rebel Renee. Rebel Renee is the most outspoken member of her book club. And she didn't even read the book. It's rumored she once used her phone at trivia night.
Cleveland.
And she isn't above greasing some palms to get things done. And Rebel Renee rides with Geico because savings and great service are two things she'd never rebel against. Geico, savings and service for both your sides.
Your team is on a streak. A losing one. You need to scout some new career prospects.
I need Indeed. Indeed you do.
An Indeed resume gets right to work for you. It helps you adapt your skills and makes sure you stand out so you can find that better fit fast.
Can you think of a time things didn't go as you planned?
How much time do we have?
Panera chefs have crafted a masterpiece. Succulent seared chicken, a secret aioli, clean ingredients, in a buttery brioche roll made fresh to leave you speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches, $0 delivery fee for a limited time.
Ego, the #1 rated brand in cordless outdoor power, brings you the Select Cut mower. Customize the cut with 3 interchangeable blades. It cuts for over an hour on a single charge. Ego, exclusively at Lowe's, Ace, and Ego authorized dealers.
Jose Trevino leads off the third for the Yankees and takes a ball from Matt Swarmer. The hero in last night's game in the 13th inning. Cubs were 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position. Yankees at that point were 0 for 18 with runners in scoring position before he did something that looked a lot like that, and that is hit a BB into left. So as far back as we can go, John, last night was the worst combined performance with runners in scoring position for two teams in a game ever. As far back as we can go. They've tracked it since 1974. You're not going to have too many games where you have that many ABs with runners in scoring position. The new extra innings format, It's immediate risk. But it was only the third time since they've put this new format on a few years ago that it went that long without a run scoring.
Yeah.
3 scoreless innings, even with the free runner at second.
I think that's the 7th game of 13 innings, so that just cuts down the length of these games being played in the wee hours.
Swarmer to Joey Gallo now. The corner with a strike. This might be Joey Gallo's best week as a Yankee.
He needs it.
3 home runs in 4 games.
Yeah, he this last 8 games is more indicative. You know, they're not expecting him to hit 296, but he was on a pace going the wrong way from an average and a swing and miss.
And was hearing it relentlessly, booing from these fans who expected more. God, there's an all-star, each of the last 2 all-star games he's been at, in a Texas Rangers uniform. Came over at the deadline last year and has not done close to what he did all those years in Texas.
Look, when you're comfortable in one place and he is who he is, I mean, it fit well in Texas. You make that change from Texas to New York, it's not for everybody to handle, and it has been a rough go from him coming here, and you would think that short porch would be incredible for him. But when you're missing close to 40% of pitches against right-handed pitchers, that's the money side, right? That's the side. And so, yes, he walks and he hits homers and he strikes out. And at least this year's Yankee team complements each other better.
They can afford to have a guy like that. And the other thing, John, they can afford to wait for him to figure it out because they're so good without him doing anything.
That's exactly right. And that's what when you have a lineup with too many of those type guys, that never wins in the postseason. And when you talk about the Yankees' drought in the postseason, when it comes to World Series, that's been a big part of it lately. This is the best team I've seen, not just because they've got the best record right now, but because they have a capacity to put the ball in play more and pitch better, gives them a better chance to go deeper.
Gallo down swinging on the high fastball. Swarmer's first K, and here are some of those boos that Gallo's been hearing for a while now. It's 1-0 Yankees and a home run from this man, the 23rd for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, that first pitch right there would be more indicative of what you would want. That was like a show pitch. That show pitch got hit. And when I say a show pitch, you're trying to do something different that you would normally not do. And you're hoping the guy doesn't hit it. Well, he did. And he didn't get it back.
Strike one with a fastball.
Now that fastball, which I don't know if we'll see another one, that fastball should set up the rest of his sliders. Throwing a fastball on the outer part of the strike is what you've got to do. You've got to make Aaron Judge, even though he can hit the ball the other way for homers, you've got to get him to expand the plate laterally.
In the air to left field. Got this one off the end of the barrel, though, and Happel put it away. Had a sigh of relief for the guy making his third big league start.
Yeah, that one shouldn't have been back. There's the fastball away. Now he needs to get this slider to turn the corner. But see how it backs up a little bit? That's middle cut. And I don't know if a hitter expects that to be middle cut when it's supposed to break away. And so that's a bonus out for Mr. Swarmer because you don't want to throw that pitch again.
Not too many times are you getting that back. So it stays 1-0 here in the last of the third. Josh Donaldson comes to the plate. Fouled out. First pitch that he saw. Strike one. Healthy hack at a nice slider. Donaldson came over in a 5-player deal right after the lockout, right before spring training. That was mostly to address the defense. Right? They absorbed Donaldson's salary. They got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who's been great at short. They got Ben Hortvedt, good defensive catcher that's been hurt. And they got Donaldson, who is the best offensive player of those three, but he's actually graded out as the best defensive player between the two of them that have been healthy, and has completely helped change that left side of the infield.
Yeah, he sure has.
First 5 seasons in the majors for Donaldson. He won an MVP. He was an all-star 3 times. By some measures, he was just a notch below Mike Trout when it comes to overall value. But the last 5 years, the caveat is he's good when he's healthy, and he's only been healthy half the time.
Injuries really catching up to Donaldson. Unique style of hitting and theories on hitting.
On a 1-2. Takes in the dirt. He was one of the first guys to adopt the quote-unquote modern swing.
Right.
And averaged over 30 home runs a season during those healthy years. 36 years old in his 13th year in the majors with his 5th different team. He's got Trevino at first and 2 gone, and he takes ball 3.
Swarmer had a perfect slider that he swung and missed, and see the beauty about pitching, and he'll learn this, he hasn't come close to that pitch since. And when you get a guy to swing at that pitch, you don't have to make it any better, just try to throw it in that same area, and he hasn't hit that area yet.
Here's the 3-2. It's fouled off. 28-year-old Matt Swarmer. A year ago, he was bouncing between AA and AAA with an ERA that wouldn't call for a call-up. It was close to 5. This is a 19th rounder that won minor league pitcher of the year for the Cubs in 18, but then he was bad in 19. 20 season didn't happen. Last year, just mentioned the numbers. He's come out of the middle of nowhere to get a chance, and one run over 6 innings against the Brewers, 1 run over 6 innings against the Cardinals, and just 1 run so far here through 3 against the Bronx Bombers. He strikes out Josh Donaldson, 2 Ks in the frame, through a 3 in New York.
And Doug. Only 2 things are forever: love and Liberty Mutual, customizing your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. If anyone objects to this marriage, speak now or forever hold your peace. No, Kevin, no, not today. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You know the toy. Discover his story.
The actual Buzz Lightyear in the flesh.
We have to get everyone home.
We got you.
Disney and Pixar's Lightyear. Rated PG. Tickets available now.
The Eat Fresh Refresh just won't stop. Now Subway's refreshing their catering. We're talking platters fit for any event, like throwing yourself an over-the-top party.
Who would do such a thing?
Yeah, I wonder. Subway keeps refreshing and refreshing and
To you.
It's a gas card. You can always use gas.
Always.
But you have a...
Thank you.
Hey, do we need gas?
Nope.
How about now?
Still no.
Hey, remember Daddy's birthday's tomorrow.
A gas card. I could use this.
Evolve your journey beyond the pump in the first ever Tucson plug-in hybrid EV.
Ace now offers free assembly and delivery, so it's never been easier to get a great grill for your family, like a Traeger wood pellet grill, Weber gas grill, or Big Green Egg charcoal grill, only at your neighborhood Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Fox Bet Super 6 is giving you a chance to win $10,000 Big Papi's money tonight for free. Simply scan the QR code now, download the Super 6 app, and enter your picks in the MLB Super 6 Challenge for a free chance at the jackpot. Download the Super 6 app today for free chances to win big every week. Aaron Judge with a solo homer. Yankees 1, Cubs nothing to the 4th. Frank Schwindel singled his first time, leads off this 4th. Happ and Gomes to follow against Jordan Montgomery. Ball 1. Cubs been very aggressive tonight. Much more patient this year overall than they've been in recent years, but very aggressive against Montgomery, who has 2 Ks, no walks, 1 hit through 3 scoreless. Behind here 2-0.
Montgomery has great angles as a left-handed pitcher. It's not the same style as, let's say, an Andy Pettit, but he has great tight break on his breaking ball, good fade action on his changeup. And as we mentioned, it's so consistent for the Yankees, just not getting rewarded with runs.
I mean, Mr. Reliable. You go back to the start of last year, 3 or fewer runs allowed in 35 of his 41 starts, including all 11 this year. And he's below 500.
Unbelievable.
3-0. There's a strike.
It is so difficult, right? I mean, I think in the games that he's pitched, they may have an under 500 record, and the rest of the staff obviously has 27 or more games over 500. But think about that tough luck.
Ground ball, perfectly positioned is Gleyber Torres for the first out. Well, Garrett Cole has been living right. Gave up those 5 home runs the other day and still didn't suffer the loss. You see, he gets 7 runs of support per game. It's among the leaders in all of baseball. But Montgomery and Severino last night, 6 innings, 1 run, but a no decision.
I don't know how they're doing that, but the way I always think you should do run support is like ERA. What you get while you're in the game. That's how, and that might represent that, which is good because you could leave the game and they could get 5 runs. It really doesn't matter.
Rizzo gets half. A foul out on the first pitch.
See, I came up with my own little analytic stat when we were playing.
Yeah, what was that?
FRS. False run support.
Okay, go on.
Well, if you're winning like 2-0 in the 7th and you come out and they score 6 and it's 8-0, and at the end of the day you got 8 runs for your not really, but the the false run support were the add-ons when the game was already well in hand, or vice versa. If you're losing 2-0 and your team loses, you come out of the game, you lose 10-9, and it looks like you got 9 runs when you were pitching, which, not the indicator. That's why you got to do it like ERA.
1-1 on Yan Gomes.
Runs while you're in the game. And I'll guarantee you that number goes down for Montgomery, because he's not pitching 9 innings every time. He's only pitching 6 innings.
Although he's been going deeper and deeper. This entire staff has gotten deeper into games, and Montgomery at the head of that list. 3 consecutive starts. He's pitched into the 7th, John. That happened 4 times all of last year.
Yeah. Well, he looks good mechanically. And when you're good mechanically, you feel like you could pitch a lot longer and deeper into the game. When you're not battling, he's not missing by 2 feet, in location.
The lefty's 1-2. Debuted in 2017, had a sneaky good year, was in the rotation pretty much the full season, and then he missed most of 2018 and 19 following Tommy John surgery. First year back was like it is for a lot of guys coming off that surgery. He had an ERA above 5, but a bounce back year last year, even better here in his 3rd full season in the majors. His 2-2 to Yan Gomes is lined up the middle into center field for a base hit, just out of the reach of a leaping Torres.
Pretty good hitting right here. They're trying to go in, and he gets the barrel of the bat right through the zone. He kind of pulls his hands in, gets it off the end there, and fights it off to right field. Good 2-strike hitting.
Torres got up there. A little bit out of his reach. Inning kept alive for Nico Horner. Attacks a curveball. Hits it gently to third. To second. Close play, but they get him. And that ends the inning. Anthony Rizzo, the old Cub, to face his old squad, leading off the 4th in a 1-0 game.
The next sale is a digital treasure trove charming Ellie's private data. What? Lot number 1, her emails. The ones she's opened and read, drugstore purchases. Her recent transactions. Oh, I hear 600, 620, 640, 660, 680. Oh.
Welcome to Allstate, where everyone saves when they bundle their home and auto insurance. Isn't that right, Frank?
I saved 25%. Booyah.
You protected your casa?
Sure did.
And the Frank tank?
You know it.
And now you're relaxing.
I'm working from home.
Sure you are.
All right, I see a lot of head nods. Let's circle back tomorrow.
You aren't kidding. Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
If it looks like an F-150, tows like an F-150, hauls like an F-150, thinks like an F-150, and powers like an F-150, it must be an F-150 hybrid. The 2022 F-150 Power Boost Hybrid. With 570 pound-feet of torque and 12,700 pounds of max available towing.
When our daughter and her kids moved in with us, our bargain detergent couldn't keep up.
Turns out it's mostly water.
So we switched back to Tide. One wash, stains are gone.
Don't pay for water. Pay for clean. It's gotta be Tide.
With a fresh cracked egg and all this crispy bacon, Wendy's Breakfast Baconator might be the greatest breakfast sandwich of all time.
And that deserves a chef's kiss.
It does. Wow.
Mwah.
Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's Breakfast Baconator.
It's Anthony Rizzo to lead off the 4th for the Yankees. Matt Swummer comes home. Rizzo attacks the first pitch, hooks it down the line, just foul.
Rizzo, we had a shot earlier of him looking at that iPad and looking at the pitch selections that he faced the first time off a pitcher he hasn't seen. And this pitcher is really kind of surviving with one pitch right now. Fastball is kind of a show pitch, and we thought that would be, or at least I thought that would be the case against this lineup, and he'd have to use a lot of his sliders. And you tell yourself as a hitter, when you get to see the pitches the first time, you say, okay, from the knees down, I'm going to lay off of everything that I see spinning. Well, good luck doing that in the moment and recognizing that spin that he has, which is funky, and his arm action funky. Man, because that's the tighter one, and that's what makes him so difficult, because he'll throw a slower one, but then he'll spike this one on the inner half of the plate with tight break. Looks like a fastball, even though they're not going to see a ton of them. Hitters have a hard time laying off of it.
Swarmer to Rizzo, 1-2. Lays off this one.
And see, that's a good job there by what Rizzo's done in his career is said, look, I don't think you can throw 3 perfect pitches like you just threw the one inside. I'm going to take the middle of the plate away from every pitcher, because I'm going to hang on that inside and bet that you can't make 3 quality pitches in there.
Digs this one out. Waiting in short right field is Nico Horner for the first out of the inning. Anthony Rizzo, the 10 years with the Cubs, one of the great Cubs of all time, considering everything he was a part of. Came over in the middle of 5 straight last place finishes. When he joined the Cubs, it was a 101 loss team. Then he signed a 9-year deal. And the Cubs offered an extension before last year that they didn't agree to terms on. So he was traded along with Bryant and Baez at the deadline last year, and has talked about how he was bummed that they couldn't get a deal done, but is really happy here. And winning is the biggest priority, he says, at this point, and the Cubs are not at a stage where they can do that at the level of the team that he chose to play for.
Yeah, he's going to be great here. And when we talk about, the shift going away, he's even going to be greater, even though that short porch is where he wants to go.
21 on Stanton.
Because he's not a high strikeout guy. He's a guy that helps this lineup, right? You might have a little bit of a higher strikeout guy in Stanton. We already talked about Gallo. Impressed with this kid. He's pitching top of the zone at 91 miles an hour. You can do that in this league. Everyone says, you got to be able to throw 98. Well, he's got funk and spin. And the difference right there, that what he'll learn is when you throw top of the zone fastball, you can't bounce a slider. I mean, that's hard for both hitters to swing at both, right? They recognize the difference. If he threw that slider more in the strike zone, Stanton would have swung at it.
2-2. Crushed on a line. Forget about this one. That is a missile, and it's 2-0 Yankees.
I know we're going to get the stats on this. That's one of the fastest home runs I've seen here at Yankee Stadium. Meaning how fast it got out. And that slider hung right down the middle of the plate. And Stanton crushed it.
Tied for the hardest hit ball in baseball this year. He ties, of course, himself.
Yeah.
So Stanton joins Judge. A pair of solo home runs off Matt Swarmer. Yankees 2, Cubs nothing.
That's the one thing Swarmer early in his career has given up the long ball. Hasn't given up a ton of hits, but the long ball has been part of the runs he does give up.
Gleyber Torres sends one to right center field. Morel's going back. They've gone back to back. Second home run of the weekend for Gleyber Torres. And the Yankees on 3 solo shots lead 3-0.
Now that is the Torres of old. When he's taking that pitch to center, right center, he's staying on the ball. Trying to pull that ball is where he's been pulling off when he was in his funk.
Yeah, you got to play to the camera.
Well, the Yankees are known for their homers, and they've got 3 solo home runs. They haven't had great success when they don't hit a homer in a game. Well, that hasn't been the case today or tonight. They've 3 solo home runs, and they're all from the right-handers.
Lead the majors by a wide margin in home runs on the season. They've added these 3 tonight. And Gleyber Torres has matched his total from the 20 and 21 seasons combined.
You know, we haven't talked, you and I, much about the baseballs. The baseballs obviously are a little bit different this year. And I think that when you think about the Yankees, I think that's a huge advantage to them.
Strike on Hicks, how so?
Well, because the exit velocity is going to go down, right? The bounce factor of the ball's not going to carry as far. Well, guess who's got some of the biggest bodies in the universe? The Yankees. And Judge, to me, is the guy that goes gap to gap, and he goes right field, left field. That ball and the way that he swings, he'll have an advantage over the rest who aren't used to the ball not carrying as much. And I think it does. I think the Yankees have a lineup that this should really benefit if the humidor is doing everything that we think it's going to do from a neutral standpoint to every ballpark.
That's a great point. There's a couple things that come to mind. First is that it is normalizing some. Right. Ball's flying better as we get deeper into the summer. And the other thing is that the guys that even when the ball hasn't been flying that have been immune to everything that everybody else is dealing with are guys like Judge and Stanton that just hit it so hard it doesn't matter what the ball's like.
Right. They've been showing, though, the evidence of
Hicks down on strikes.
The same exit velocities are going a little less farther. Right? So if you have that science and you have gigantic human beings, which they do, that tends to bode well for their swing arc and plane and the way the ball comes off their back.
Now, 120, you can hit a wiffle ball and it's going to go. Right? So, ball one on Kiner Falefa.
Well, the game plan of any opposing pitcher when they come into this stadium, and I used to do the same thing, make them solos. Make them solos. Solo home runs usually don't beat you, is the general rule. And so far, those are exactly what the Yankees have been able to do.
Yeah, and for Swarmer, you mentioned he's been giving up his fair share of home runs. He's given up now 11 hits in the majors. 6 have been homers. 5 have been solo shots.
Yeah, that's the way to do it.
Gives you a chance.
Absolutely. The 3-run homers are killers. Those are hard to survive unless you're up by a bunch.
Swarmer to Kiner Falefa with the 2-1. That's a little bit low.
And the problem for opposing pitchers, there's really not one area other than straightaway center that you can keep the ball in the ballpark here because it goes down the line. It's short down the line, and typically you can pitch away from the wall at Fenway, and when the wind's blowing in at Wrigley, have it go your way.
On the hands, Gomes gets there and ends the inning. Giancarlo Stanton with the hardest hit ball of the season across baseball, out in the blink of an eye. One batter later, didn't hit it quite as hard, but counts for just as many. On 3 solo home runs, the Yankees 3, the Cubs nothing on Baseball Night in America.
Okay, this is a freezer, not a time capsule. Sometimes the house itself can tell you how a young homeowner is turning into their parents.
Not those 2.
Yep, they're gone.
Forever?
Yep.
That there is Progressive's Home Quote Explorer website where I compared home insurance rates.
We don't need to print the internet. Some are beyond help. I will give you $100 if you can tell me what this is.
Scotch egg.
It's a meatball.
Progressive can't help you from becoming your parents, but we can help you compare rates on home insurance with Home Quote Explorer.
We've got a lot of work to do.
We'd like to dedicate the next 5 seconds to fresh portobellos. And all the other seconds to peppers, onions, and Swiss. Because fresh ingredients make a sub above.
Boy, we've come a long way. You know, in the old days, there were no lights, no heat, no creature comforts. Just creatures. Everyone comfy?
No, sir. No.
Nowadays, you just plug everything into your car. You got lights, heat.
We are out of pesto.
I'll make a run. Hey, everybody comfy?
No.
Not at all. Okie doke. Your journey at its most evolved. The fully electric Hyundai Ioniq 5 now with two-way charging.
Ever wonder what everyone's doing on their phones? They're banking with Bank of America. The groom's parents, they just found out they can redeem rewards for a second honeymoon. Romance is in the air. Like these two. He's realizing he's in love and that his dating app just went up. Must be fate. And Phil, he forgot a gift, so he's sending the happy couple some money.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?
To get more hits out here, start training in here. Introducing Win Reality. Game speed pitches anywhere, anytime. Hands in sync with eyes. Confidence in sync with your progress. Be ready for real. Win Reality.
The right way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring. And the right way to film it is in slow motion. Obviously. Because authentic ingredients make a sub above.
Andrelton Simmons leads off the inning for the Cubs. Takes ball one from Jordan Montgomery, who's saying, this is a little more like it. Give me a little help, guys. 3 solo home runs, a 3-0 lead for the Yankees as Simmons takes ball 2. Trying to get Montgomery to 2-1 on the season. 29 years old from Sumter, South Carolina. Played his college ball for the Gamecocks. Drafted out of there in the 4th round in 2014. It's a strike, and it's 2-1 on Simmons. On the other side, Matt Swarmer learning on the job.
Yeah, talking about the release point of his slider and getting the one to break hard down and the one that's flat, and that's all the angle of your hand. Speaking of the angle of the hand, Montgomery's done a nice job getting the Cubs to hit the ball on the ground. 9 of the 13 batters ground balls, and that means your stuff is down, electric, and you got the Cubs off balance.
Here's 2-2. Another ground ball sized up by Donaldson for the first out of the inning. He's not striking nearly as many guys out as he has at other times in his career, but by far the highest ground ball rate of his career, by far the most weak contact that he's induced, as he's thrown that sinker, that ground ball pitch, more than ever.
And that's huge in this park, right? This is a fly ball heaven. I mean, for hitters, they're trying to get the ball in the air, and if you can get them to hit it on the ground, especially with the improved defense that the Yankees have, you're going to have collective success, and that's what this team has done. You got Severino and Cole who can strike out a ton of guys, and then you got some crafty guys that can mix and match. Cortez, Montgomery, Tyon.
Hayward pops this one into right. Back goes Torres. Calls off Stanton. 2 up and 2 down in the 5th. You put it all together, you've got what came into the season as the biggest question. Not a huge question, but when you're looking at the whole roster, what's your biggest concern? How good's that starting pitching going to be? Number 1 in the American League.
Yeah, and that, it may be hard to keep that up all year. But, you know, I look at every ball club that goes to the postseason, falls short, and what are they going to be like the next year? If you get improvement out of your players, that's huge. You knew Severino was going to get better. He has. Cole's Cole, but Montgomery's been better. Cortez has been better. Every facet of their club in the pitching department, you could make an argument they've all gotten better, and that's why they're in the position they're in.
It's a 1-0 to Morel. It's grounded to third. More weak contact. On 8 pitches, Montgomery goes 1-2-3. Halfway home in the Bronx.
I was having relationship issues with my old bank. Next to no interest. The fees, it was just take.
In today's
So I broke up with bad banking and moved to SoFi Checking and Savings. Now I get 1.25% interest, pay no account fees, and get my paycheck 2 days early.
Break up with bad banking. Get 1.25% interest, pay no account fees, and get your paycheck up to 2 days early. Download the SoFi app and earn up to $300 when you set up direct deposit. SoFi, get your money right.
All 'em. 'Cause 'em all. 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 '
Feeling like I'm floating to the ceiling, isn't magic. Baby, tell me why you disappearing, is it magic? I won't never tell them how I did it, it was magic. Can you imagine? Feeling like I'm floating to the ceiling, isn't magic. Can you imagine?
You've been working from home, but your roommate just took up percussion as a hobby. You need to drum up a new job quick and get out of here.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. An Indeed resume is more than a resume. It makes it easy to personalize your job search and even helps the right job find you.
I see you're willing to relocate for work.
Yes.
It's still the Eat Fresh Refresh, and now Subway's refreshing their Italians. Like the new Supreme Meat, topped high with new Italian-style capicola. That's one handsome Italian.
Thanks.
Not you, Garoppolo. Subway keeps refreshing and refreshing and refreshing.
Tickets for the USFL Playoffs and Championship. June 25th, it's the USFL Playoffs with Trace Atkins performing live. July 3rd, the inaugural USFL Championship. Tickets are on sale today at HOFvillage.com.
The 2022 Chevrolet MLB All-Star Ballot is now open. You can vote daily at MLB.com/vote to send your favorite players to LA this summer. Matt Swarmer in his third major league start has given up 3 home runs, all solo shots. And this is with his first pitch to the 8-hitter Jose Trevino. There's the lone hit of the game that is not a home run for the Yankees. That's a single back in the third. Now, Trevino, they got knowing that he was a great defensive catcher, light hitting defensive catcher. But over his last 17 games, he's hit it above 400 with some big hits in there. A couple walk-off hits, including last night. Hooks this one down the line towards the pole. If it's fair, it's gone. Off the pole. Solo shot. 4th of the game.
Pretty good pitch that he turned around. Sometimes pitchers give up homers on pitcher's pitch, and he just was so out in front and getting the head of the bat to the ball. This is on the inside part of the plate. And when we get a chance to look at it, you're going to see why it was hard to keep this ball fair. Barely did. Hit the foul pole or the fair pole.
Strikeout Joey Gallo. 5th of the year for Jose Trevino. Quickly 0-2 on Gallo. Trevino hit, John hit 9 of them his first 3+ years in the majors. Already 5 here.
Yeah, he's locked in. It's a beach ball right now. No need to make this pitch any better. Go back in a little further with the breaking ball. When you go in further, you're trying to hit the tight inside part of the plate with that break. Hard for left-handers to stay off that pitch.
He gets Gallo for the second time. You look back at the home run from Trevino.
Yeah, this is a really good pitch. When I saw live, we'll get a chance to see the replay. Look how the catcher set up inside. That pitch in off the plate. See how fast he turned he pulled his hands inside so fast. That's the only way you keep it fair. Chokes up on the barrel, but he's quick to the ball. Hits it out in front. That's where they talk about hitting it out in front. When you hit it out in front, you're going to pull it. And pull it he did. For a home run.
Judge in the dirt ball one. Yankees offered him $213 million before the season. He said, nope, watch this. And is putting together a career year. Hits this one hard. Left center field. Aaron Judge again. His 24th, the 5th of the 9th for the Bronx Bombers.
Well, the problem for David Ross is you don't want this poor youngster have his confidence crushed, but he needs innings. They use that whole bullpen. You know, both managers were hoping they could get some innings, so he may have to wear it a little bit here now. 5-0, just because last night was so long and he had to use so many guys.
Yeah, 8 pitchers for the Cubs used, 9 2/3 for the Pen after Miley left early. 1-1 on Donaldson. Only 5 players have hit 60 home runs in a season. Aaron Judge is now on pace for 66.
Yeah, and that key on pace is that he stays healthy. And I know Aaron Boone is going to do everything he can to get him off his feet every once in a while, give him the rest he needs. And that's the hard part, right? I mean, when you're going good, how do you balance giving a guy a day off when he's going as good as Aaron Judge is? Well, the team's going great, so they can absorb that, obviously. But just based on the last few years, you get some data of history, and history's not on Judge's side from a standpoint of being able to stay completely healthy.
And that's why coming into the year, the offer the Yankees gave him wasn't a lowball offer, given the injury history and given the age. He's 30 at this point. He's putting together a season that could change that whole setup.
Well, when you're staying on the ball and you're not pulling off the ball and you're as comfortable as he looks right now, pitchers are like uncle.
Fly to right center field by Donaldson. Morrell making the call and the catch, 2 away. One more look. The second home run of the night, the 24th of the year for Aaron Judge.
Again, middle, and that is not a good place to pitch Aaron Judge, and you could tell that ball got out in a hurry. You know what? I never was a big fan of people bringing gloves, but at this stadium in the outfield, yeah, bring your glove. Yeah. They're coming in hot.
Both sides, too, right? It's as many of them as anybody the other way. Yankees, John, we mentioned that Stan's home run was the hardest hit ball in baseball this year. In the StatCast era, where they've been tracking how hard balls hit, that's back to 2015, Yankees account for the 4 hardest hit balls. It's 2-0 on Rizzo. Of course, Stanton had that one 120 tonight. He's got 3 of the top 4. Judge has the other.
And they're starting to come up with better stats, because that in and of itself is just a sexy stat. Like, you could lead the league in hardest hit balls and strike out 230 times, right? I want, and I know they tried with barrels and all this, but what I love, and I could tell you that it would indicate, I could predict who some of these guys would be, value every contact as, like, you drive your car to LA, from New York to LA, you're going to have an average speed. It's not going to be as sexy, the stat I'm talking about, but if you swing and miss, that's 0. If you put it in play, it's X, right? You put it in play, whatever that is. Give me that collective average velocity off the bat, and I'll show you better hitters in that they won't look as sexy. They're not going to average 90 off the bat, but it's going to show you the guy that and value the better hitter on your club. So we get caught up on the individual, and believe me, those are phenomenal numbers, but Judge has the combination of both now.
3-2 on Rizzo.
You know where I'm going with that? Like
Totally.
If you love it. Joey Gallo, for example, is going to have exit velocity through the roof when he hits it. But because
when he hits it,
but his average like miles per hour would be super low because no one equates for a swing and a miss as 0, and that's why I think that stat should exist.
High fly ball off of the batter. Rizzo. He joins the home run party. 6 for the Yankees.
So I mentioned Rizzo was looking at the iPad. The second at bat was batter. The third at bat, because nothing was going away from him and everything was coming in, he could sit on a particular pitch. He did. And a very, very rough outing for a young pitcher here. Again, trying to give his team some innings.
#15th for Anthony Rizzo, 4th over his last 8 games. The 6th one tonight allowed by Matt Swarmer.
In his 2 previous games that I watched, I bet you he couldn't come up with as many center pitches he's thrown tonight. And the problem, the reason that exists, he's facing a great team in the Yankees, but he's facing them in their ballpark, and fly balls usually don't stay in the ballpark.
David Ross is saying, what are we going to do? You feel for the guy, but you just mentioned it. 8 pitchers used last night out of the bullpen to cover 9 2/3 after Wade Miley went short, so Swarmer having to wear it. Catches the corner with the first one to Stanton. Yankees #1 by a wide margin in home runs this year, now 94. And that average exit velocity, they've been first for eternity, for as long as they've been tracking that. But back to your point about incorporating the swing and miss, there's less of that now because that was all not canceled out, but certainly hurt by the fact that there was only so much contact.
No doubt. They had a bunch of double-digit strikeouts last year. Cut that almost in half already this year.
Towering drive, but he got just under it. And you don't blame the fans for watching that one with their hearts. 3 home runs in the inning, 6 home runs on the night, including 2 from the major league leader. Aaron Judge hits number 23 in the first inning. He hits number 24 here in the 5th. The Yankees putting on a power show tonight. They lead 6-0 after 5.
Singing or speaking.
Reason or fun? Daring or thoughtful? Sensitive or strong? Progress isn't either or. Progress is everything.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different how? You saw high commission investment products, right?
Nope, Fisher avoids them.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Never at Fisher Investments.
Okay, then you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No. We structure our fees so we do better when clients do better. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Welcome to Allstate, where everyone saves when they bundle their home and auto insurance. Isn't that right, Frank?
I saved 25%. Booyah.
You protected your casa?
Sure did.
And a Frank tank?
You know it.
And now you're relaxing.
I'm working from home.
Sure you are.
All right, I see a lot of head nods. Let's circle back tomorrow.
You aren't kidding. Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate. Click or call for a quote today.
Ace now offers free assembly and delivery, so it's never been easier to get a great grill for your family, like a Traeger wood pellet grill, Weber gas grill, or Big Green Egg charcoal grill, only at your neighborhood Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Everyone's excited Wendy's summer strawberry salad is back.
I certainly am.
Crispy bacon, grilled chicken, and
fresh strawberries. I'm aware.
It's always good to meet another super fan. Wendy's summer strawberry chicken salad is back.
Red Bull gives you wings.
How do you feel from Matt Swarmer tonight, who's given up 6 solo home runs in his third start in the majors? Guy they say is as nice, as polite, as happy to be there as anybody they've ever brought up. As appreciative of the opportunity as anybody. Better days ahead for the 28-year-old from Reading, PA. Strike one on Wilson Contreras.
Yeah, it just was a tough matchup for him, as are a lot of pitchers who come in here. But the reason I say it was a tough matchup is because the reality of right now he has 2 pitches, and if he didn't put them exactly where he needed to, and that's a lot of stress against this lineup, the potential of the homer was there. And, you know, give him credit. It's been 6 solo home runs, but it's the perfect storm, unfortunately, for the Cubs. I mean, they came in, extended a lot of relievers last night.
That's Michael Rucker, who they just activated today as they play Smiley back on the injured list. Here's an 0-2 to Contreras. It's in the dirt for ball 1. Jordan Montgomery, meanwhile, 5 shutout innings. He's at just 61 pitches and is tracking to go deep into this game again. One of the reasons they've been aggressive with him throughout his career is that he's pitched in a lot of tight games, and with as good of a bullpen as they have, Aaron Boone has been aggressive, going to get him to protect those close leads, but maybe more of a leash tonight, like he's had lately, especially here, though, with a big lead. Swing and a miss. Scott Contreras with a changeup for his 3rd K. Now, here are those 6 home runs from the most powerful lineup in baseball, making all the mistakes hurt.
Only one of these pitches was a really good pitch, and that was it. Meaning the ones he's given up homers. Everything else is center cut. And hanging in the middle of the plate, and against a team like this, you just can't get away with them. I mean, you're going to get fly balls out of them, but mostly fly balls that the fans are going to catch. And, you know, you hate to see it, but you know there's an opportunity to learn from it. It's only been a handful of starts, 3 starts, and that's a tough task for a youngster to come into this stadium and face this team.
Ground ball off of the bat of Patrick Wisdom to Kiner Falefa, 2 away. How hard they hit him? Stands the hardest hit ball of the year across baseball. And the 4th hardest over the last 8 seasons. I love what you're talking about, though, having some kind of category that factors in the swing and the miss.
Yeah, it's got to be. It's 0, you know. And again, like I use the analogy when you're leaving your house and you're going on a trip, you're stopping at red lights, you're stopping at stop signs, so your average mile per hour doesn't look like you've gone very fast, even though the majority of your trip is going to be at 70 miles an hour on the highway. And I think as we evolve in all this statistical analytics and stuff, I want to find the best hitters in the game that combine the both. And I think there are ways that is one way to do it. And they've come really close with combining those 2.
Schwindel hooks a line drive base hit into the left. 2nd hit of the night for the local guy.
A couple years ago, LeMahieu was one of the top on that list because he didn't average 100 miles off the bat, but he didn't strike out a lot. And he got a lot of hits, and he had a high average, and he combined the both of those that make it truly identify the hitter that you can look in your lineup and go, runners on third, less than 2 outs, that guy's getting them in. The other guys that could hit it 500 feet may not get them in because of the swing and miss.
Ian Happ with 2 away.
No, it's out.
1 ball, no strikes. All the stats serve a certain purpose, and they're all good for their individual purposes. Exit velocity, for example, that's a great way to see who hits the ball hard. But is it the best way to see who the best hitter is?
No.
Not until you incorporate the swing and the miss element into it.
It's a good predictor of a guy who might be hitting with low average and running into bad luck, and you look at the ball off his bat and go, eventually those are going to translate into more hits. But what do you think Tony Gwynn's exit velocity would have been in his day? Not very good,
right?
But it served a purpose in his ability to hit. And I know we're in a different time frame now, so I'm not trying to say that everyone needs to hit like Tony Gwynn. But you will see a major difference when the shift gets banned. Because you can't stop 110 miles an hour off the bat when only two people are on the infield on one side. You just can't. The singles will go up, the action will go up, and the hitting styles will change because it gives you the opportunity to change. I get what clubs are asking hitters to do when there's 3 or 4 guys on one side.
Right.
Sure, you can't get it through them. So hit it over the fence. Well, that brings a different swing plane. That brings in strikeouts into play, and obviously less action.
Here's a 3-1 to Ian Happ. The ground is short. Backhand stab kind of Falefa. Goes the short way to end the top of the 6th.
Beautiful day in Baltimore, where most people probably know that Geico could save them money on car insurance, right? You see, the thing is, Geico, well, could help them save on boat insurance too. Oi! Okay, I'm ready to come in now. Hello?
I'm trying my best.
Seriously, I'm serious. Request to come ashore.
Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance.
Welcome to the NBA Finals.
Now this is a celebration. The finals, where the 60-foot prayer can get answered at the buzzer.
It's more like 61 feet.
I mean, you gotta be great from game 1 to game 7. Because when the champagne stops popping, does anybody know what's left? Legendary status, my man. Yes, Dirk. Exactly. Oh my greatness.
The next sale is a digital treasure trove charming Ellie's private data.
What?
Lot number 1, her emails. The ones she's opened and read, drugstore purchases. Her recent transactions. Oh, I hear 600, 620, 640, 660, 680. Oh.
Enjoy the stars and enjoy the show. The MLB All-Star Game presented by MasterCard is coming to Hollywood, and it's up to you to decide who will walk from the red carpet to the starting lineup. With the Chevrolet 2022 MLB All-Star Ballot, go to MLB.com/vote and make your picks. The top of the leaderboard will advance to the finals to determine who will start July 19th. Vote now.
Get out and play ball this weekend. Free events are being held in communities across the country through tomorrow. Visit MLB.com/playballweekend for more information. These folks taking in a ball game. That Swarmer will do the same now as Michael Rucker comes on to replace him. 28 years old from Columbus, Mississippi. Gleyber Torres watches strike 1 from Rucker.
A little different angle, a little more traditional release point, 95 plus on his fastball. And he's going to throw a cutter fastball majority of the time and then mix in his slider, curveball, and changeup.
Torres on the ground, through. Second hit of the night for Gleyber Torres, adding to his home run.
That's the best version of Torres I've seen in a long time. Up the middle, not trying to pull and launch every single time he was in a funk. It just looked like that's what he was trying to do too much. He stays on this slider. And again, if you try to pull that ball too much, that's an easy ground out to the left side of the field. He goes up the middle and gets rewarded with a hit.
Said he spent more time in the cage than he ever has before this offseason. Right away, right when the season ended, he got to work there. Worked on his mechanics. Said he went into the year trying to simplify his mindset a little bit. Just put the ball in play. Don't think about lifting it. Even though that's been part of the equation, he's not hitting it on the ground as much. And then the confidence has come, and Aaron Boone says that confidence, is a huge part of it, obviously.
Well, everyone's human, and the nature of which they go about their business. When they struggle, you have tendencies to overcorrect, get too mechanical, look at video way too much, and you get into that funk, and you don't think you're going to get out. Even the greatest player in the world, Mike Trout, has gone through one of those. And it's so easy to chase results. It's so easy to lose your confidence in this game. And you got to understand, you play long enough, you're going to go through those peaks and valleys, and you just want them to be limited. You just don't want them to be as big either way, so that you lose kind of the perspective of what this game can do to you.
There you go. Check swing, 2-2 on Hicks.
I remember Maddox just used to try to simplify things, and he did a good job when he was with us. You know, he says, look, ride it when you're going well, win those games, and go 500 when you're going bad. And you think about that. If you go 500 in the games that you're not really good at or don't feel great at, you're going to have a great year. At the plate, if you can break it down to games, at bats, pitches, week, when you start looking at the long haul of I'm hitting 220 now and I can't get to 300, well, then each week hit 300. You know, pick and choose how you break down the game you got to play within yourself.
Full count. You got to trick yourself a little bit, right, to get through that 162.
And you always got to believe you're better than whatever the moment you're going through. You got to fake it till you make it, right? I mean, that's the hard part.
He missed first 2 weeks against Rucker. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Only pay for what you need. And by Charles Schwab. Own your tomorrow. How about this weather this weekend?
Oh, wow. It's been great. I've been here for 3 days enjoying this weather.
You just laying out by the pool with your shirt off and some tanning oil on. I can see it now.
I wish that was the case.
Yeah, no, you don't. You're doing exactly what you want. Strike one on Kiner Falefa.
Playing a little golf. Enjoying the weather. There's a certain movie where they say we're going streaking, and there are some clubs going streaking big time right now in baseball.
Yeah, that's a base hit to right. They're going to send Torres. Kiner Falefa knocks home a run, and it's 7-0 Yankees. Talking about a couple teams from the National League East.
Unbelievable turnaround. Yeah. Atlanta Braves, I believe they won their 10th in a row today. The Phillies changed their manager. Can't lose since that's happened. Phillies have been unbelievable with a 9-game winning streak. And you can see their offense has picked it up and tightened the belt a little bit. Mets have been running away. Obviously, the Yankees are streaking. Unfortunately, the Angels are streaking in the wrong way. Latest run is, but it is conceivable with the way the system is set up this year, you could have 4 teams from the American League East representing the playoffs. And, of course, the 2 best records.
Trevino into right. Hayward won't get there. We'll go station to station and load him up.
The 2 best records get the bye. So the Yankees are going to keep on trucking and trying to get that bye if they continue on their trend.
Well, last year, before this new system of the extra team was implemented, there were 4 90-win teams in the American League East. It was only the second time in the divisional era that had happened. And you're kind of headed in that direction again. You've got Toronto's won 13 of its last 16. Boston's got the best record in the majors over the last month. They were left for dead early. Tampa Bay's always lurking there, doing what they do. And even with those teams having good years, another testament to how dominant the Yankees have been. They come into the day leading the Blue Jays by 7.5 games still.
Yeah, and the only thing you could be if you're a Blue Jay is going, we just keep winning, whether we catch the Yankees or not. We want to get in the dance, right? Position yourself in a place where you can make the run that the Braves did last year in the Nationals. It's going to be a heavy loaded win total in the American League that I think of. You know, when this system got set up, they thought maybe a 500 team or maybe a little bit below 500 might make it. Not the American League.
Yeah. Well, as Gallo swings and misses strike 1. Over the last 8 years, because there's now 6 teams that are going to get in. Over the last 8 years, if you look at who that 6th team would have been,
right?
They've averaged 85 wins, 86 wins. That's way up there. Long way to go, though, for Simmons, who's still going. Morrell calls him off and makes the catch. So 87 wins have been the average over the last 8 years for what would be the last playoff team. All right, so 1 away.
Oh,
and
boy.
Aaron Judge is coming up with a bases jam. With 2 more blasts tonight. On pace for 66. And they all rise as he comes up here.
Well, he's going to face more velocity, and I think if he were to connect going to right field on the pitches away, you might see a different style approach here from Rucker. Oh. That's what I thought. You know, fastballs away, sliders, hard sliders away. Very well located, but almost to the short right field porch.
Cracks one to right. Hayward sizes it up, makes the catch. Runner coming home from third. Hayward's throw, not in time. Hits in to score. Judge has knocked in his 3rd of the night, and it's 8-0 New York.
To right field, and his teammate rewarded him, right, with a sac fly RBI. No damage to that batting average.
It's amazing with the Cubs. You give up a run and you're breathing a massive sigh of relief.
Are they going to challenge that he left too early?
Looks like they might. Let's listen in and hear.
Chicago is challenged in the safe call with the runner left early at third base.
I believe that's. We need Mark to speak up a little bit. Yeah, they are going to see if he left early from third.
Maybe he didn't reward him. Maybe we spoke a little too soon about.
Let's find out. Let's take a look. Got it synced up.
No. Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
But he gave the impression, his body moving, that's where the Cubs would have read that, hey, he had to have left early. So this more than likely will not be overturned.
You think umpires are like inside giving a big fist pump when the calls are confirmed?
I don't know. I mean, the plays at first base are really difficult, right? Yeah. I think that's where most of them kind of get lost in the timing of bang bang. Plays at home plate are difficult too. So I think, yeah, there's some pride factors. Like, man, under the gun, I got it right. But it just shows how hard it is at fast, real time when they have to make those decisions. Bang, bang.
It really is amazing, and it always gets pointed out when they miss them, but those bang, bang calls that they nail 99 times out of 100, amazing.
After review, the call on the field is confirmed. The runner is safe and scored. Chicago loses their talent.
Call is confirmed. I just want one of these times to see an umpire, like the manager holds up his hand. It wouldn't like, no, I don't believe you that he's out. We're checking that. Hold on. And then he says, play on. I want to see the umpire give like the Tiger Woods pump of the fist. Yeah, I was right. Here's Donaldson. Donaldson 0 for 3 tonight. Strike 1 and 2.
Haven't had many games where we can play this game, meaning area baseball games. Yeah, there you go. Read my mind. Area code game.
What we got?
232s in international numbers. All I know. It's not. So you take the middle 4, 5, and 6 on the scoreboard. You play the first 3 innings, middle 3 innings, and Yankees are usually a hot topic when it comes to playing the area code game because they can light up a 3-inning kind of scenario. So those of you at home, if you're wondering what the area code game is, there you go. You got 100, which there really isn't much to do there, but 232 area code, and then 789 for the visitor.
Rucker gets the comebacker. You didn't know 232 is Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. I was going to say that international.
Right. Obviously Sierra Leone.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Toyota Sage Mark III.
The best time to be near a top health system is all the time. With over 300 locations from the city through Long Island, you can have confidence knowing you're always covered from head to toe and everything in between with the nation's #1 ranked quality care. The best time to be near a top health system is all the time. With over 300 locations from the city through Long Island, you can have confidence knowing you're always covered from head to toe and everything in between with the nation's #1 ranked quality care.
It's been 7 years since Pastor Billy Richards was treated successfully for prostate cancer by Perlmutter Cancer Center, the world's #1 cyberknife program.
I had no pain, no fatigue, and no side effects.
After 5 treatments in 1 week, Pastor Billy went right back to leading his Brooklyn congregation.
I had 1 week of treatment, and I went right back to living my life. Cyberknife was truly a blessing for me, my family, and my ministry. If you have prostate cancer, I urge you to look into Cyberknife.
Call for an appointment.
Stay fabulous. Resorts World.
Here's in Rosanna Scotto for Good Day, weekdays 4:30 to 10 a.m.
6 home runs for the Yankees tonight. They lead 8-0 as they look for their 10th win out of their last 11. The regular season is underway. Anything can happen. You can follow at MLB on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube so you don't miss a thing in 2022. Gomes, Horner, and Simmons. That's 6, 7, and 8 for the Cubs against Jordan Montgomery, who is pitching in a comfy spot here with a rare big lead. Attacks the zone, and Gomes attacks it. His second hit tonight. It's time for our first game break of the night. We say hello to our friend Kevin Burkhardt.
Hello, Joe. Well, the Giants trying to take 2 in a row from the Dodgers. Thairo Estrada going deep off Clayton Kershaw. Got him on the board. They're up 2-0 in this game. Good news for LA, though. Kershaw back after not pitching since early May with a back injury. Went 4 innings, gave up 2 runs. 2-0 San Francisco. Joe, John, back to you guys.
All right, KB, leadoff man on for the Cubs. Here's Nico Horner. On the same day, John, that they get Clayton Kershaw back, they place Walker Buehler on the injured list and fly him back to Los Angeles to get tests on his elbow.
Yeah, you can tell he just wasn't quite right, this year. Such a quality pitcher, and of course, all he does is win. And, the previous year postseason, you wonder how much of that, not so much, I hate the term like, not carryover, but what's the word they always talk about, it hangover after a postseason or a long season or
residual effects?
Yeah, I think more of it had to do with some of these pitchers and the way that they're used in the postseason, contrary to what every 5 days their normal routine gives them in the regular season. So, not saying that that's part of what Buehler's going through, but the Dodgers of all those clubs can sustain it seemingly every year. They are able to have the most depth to create an opportunity to miss great pitchers like they have from time to time. And ho-hum, they're in first place again.
Padres right on their heels, but as we just showed a moment ago, the 2 best records in baseball, New York and New York. 2-2 pitch. Full count.
That doesn't happen very often, by the way.
No, I mean, every year the Mets tease you, and you think, okay, what a start. This is the team. This year they've done it without Jacob deGrom throwing a pitch. They've done it without Max Scherzer for half the season. Offense is completely transformed, and the whole personality is completely transformed under Buck Showalter. Horner into left center, back-to-back hits to open the 7th inning. What do you think? Are they for real on the other side of town?
Absolutely, they're for real. I mean, but the old adage that gets kind of crazy is different players and still injuries. Like the Mets have been dealing with injuries every year, and at some point that's got to change. And that division lead has shrunk only because the Braves have won 10 in a row, and the Mets are probably the most complete team that I have since doing this I have seen, and that's why they can sustain not having their best 2 pitchers going. Their offense makes the difference. Their defense is vastly improved. So they've checked off all the boxes. They've eliminated strikeouts. It's the theme, I'm telling you. The teams that go on and make playoff runs and go deep is because they eliminate strikeouts in their lineup. And when you do that, you give yourself a lot more chances. If you're striking out more than on the pitching side than you are on the hitting side, it's a pretty good number. It just gives you a better chance. In just statistically, if you're putting the ball in play more than they're putting the ball in play, like your chances.
So you think the Mets are more complete than the Yankees?
No, I'm just saying they're more complete than any team I've seen with the Mets.
Got it.
Just
okay.
the Mets in general.
Gotcha.
Because last year, the reason the Braves went and made all those moves is they would never, if this year's team was last year's team being the Mets, they would have never made those moves.
Yeah.
You're not catching that team. So they thought they were catchable, and they were catchable based on the deficiencies they had last year, and their owner went out and said, we're going to hide some of those and make some moves, and they did. Some really good moves in that lineup. Moves you would go, I didn't see, like Canna. That guy single-handedly changed their lineup, puts the ball in play. Alonso's been better. Lindor's been better. Starling Marte. I mean, they just checked the box of everything they needed, and they went out and got it. And the Yankees, on the flip side, are just getting way better production across the board from everybody on their roster.
Another 0-2 to Andrelton Simmons is in the dirt. Well, in an offseason where the Yankees are usually involved in the big spending, the big free agents, they didn't do that.
No.
They traded and addressed some specific things, the defense being at the top of that, got a little more left-hand balance. But by not going and getting the big price guys, you go out on a limb a little bit, right? Brian Cashman put himself up for what could have been some criticism. But, boy, you talk about early leader for Executive of the Year with what he's done, massaging the roster and without going out and spending a ton of money, addressing their weaknesses. Not just addressing them, but taking a weakness like defense and making it a strength.
Yeah. But when you get the production out of the bullpen guys that nobody would have thought you were going to get, that's how you turn a really good team into a great team. Holmes, come on. Really? This has been a fantastic year. King, you can go down the list.
Pop up. Infield fly rule.
Wow. And they don't even have Chapman. So Chapman's hopefully coming back soon, and don't think he'll be thrust back into the closer's role anytime soon right now based on the way things are going currently in their bullpen. So Aaron Boone has got a good thing going right now.
Chapman threw a bullpen earlier today. This is about 4 o'clock this afternoon. Throwing out flat ground. And then got on the mound as he continues to progress back. His Achilles injury looking like sometime probably early July. Jason Hayward takes outside. And it's not just Chapman that they're without. They're without probably their top 3 arms coming into the year. Chapman, Loaizaga, and Chad Green. And then you incorporate Zach Britton in the whole thing, who they hope to get back at the end of the year coming off Tommy John. Those are maybe their 4 top arms on paper, coming into the year. But a guy like Clay Holmes, he's been so good that when Aroldis Chapman returns, like Aaron Boone said, what is he? Yeah, he's a big-time arm at the back end of the pen. Basically saying Clay Holmes has taken the closer spot.
Yeah, what did he give up a run in his first outing and nothing since? Something like that? I mean, that's on a roll, and that's pretty impressive.
28 straight scoreless innings for Clay Holmes.
That's a big difference. And, of course, the 6.4 walks was part of the reason Chapman dealing with whatever he was dealing with and contributing to that.
Montgomery's 2-1. Jason Hayward tries to lay off. Went around, and it's 2-2. Every championship team, though, you get into October, you have conversations about the journey to get there. There's always that guy or two that you say, they found out about him when the other guy got hurt. It happens every year. And Clay Holmes turning into one of those guys for the Yankees.
You ride hot arms and hot bats in the postseason.
This match is a season high here for Montgomery. His 90th pitch is fouled off. So they maybe got part of the hand there.
And see, here's a perfect example of what I've been saying when it comes to pitches per game, right? Pitch count. 8-0, no stress. Those 90 pitches are so much different in an 8-0, no stress, and this has been his first traffic situation, than if it was 1-0, 1-1, runners on. Then take that 90 and make it 105. But this 90 is an easy 90.
Gets Hayward. 4th K, 2 out.
Been free and easy. Worked his way back on a 2-0 count. He threw a great cutter on the outside part of the plate. And that may be enough for Montgomery. I don't know. Got a meeting at the mound. Looks like they're leaving him in. This is good.
Pitching coach Matt Blake is out there. This is, either way, the 4th consecutive start where Jordan Montgomery has pitched into the 7th inning, something he did 4 times total in 2021.
It's a huge pick-me-up for the ball club because of the amount of relievers, again, being pressed into duty.
If this holds, 12 consecutive starts to open the season with 3 earned runs or fewer. And if also it holds, it'll be 10 out of the 12 where it's been 2 or fewer. Historically good, sneaky historically good start to the year for Jordan Montgomery. Christopher Morel, another opportunity to extend his on-base streak. 22 games to begin his career. 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt tonight.
There's a chance he could be an all-star pitcher with 3 wins.
Yeah.
I mean, at the current rate.
Right.
That guy's getting a lot more help. Collectively, their staff is not just about one guy now, 1 or 2 guys. Great feeling coming to the park knowing each night you're going to get a pretty good performance.
The 1-1 from Jordan Montgomery to Christopher Morel is over the inside corner, strike 2.
He's got a little streak going, right?
Yep, it's a 22. Chance he gets another at-bat, but not a certainty. Montgomery trying to finish off 7 scoreless. His 1-2. In the dirt, blocked by Trevino. Look at this, yeah. This is the other streak. 0 for their last 39 with runners in scoring position. And that's since 1974. That's just as far back as wrist numbers go. So it's most likely much farther back than that. Two on, 2 out. 2-2. 7 shutout innings for Jordan Montgomery.
Singing or speaking. Reason or fun. Daring or thoughtful. Sensitive or strong. Progress isn't either or. Progress is everything.
Alone, chicken, onions, peppers, and cheese have potential. Together, they have a purpose, a destiny, and a name. Because grilled to order makes a sub above.
Here's my dip.
Yes,
Did you bring your 7-layer dip?
Yeah, but it's just 7 layers of beans.
Resourceful. Or did you invite all your friends to watch your favorite team?
They're losing, but that's okay.
So sweet, so unique. Baby, there's nothing better. I bet you probably done something that deserves a Dr. Pepper. Did you pretend to like sports or your girlfriend's dad would like you better?
What? No, I love sports.
Me too.
Everyone's done something that deserves a Dr. It's what you deserve.
This is Antonelli's Cheese Shop, and we're the Antonellis.
We chose our Spark Cash Plus card from Capital One because we earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase.
And with no preset spending limit, our purchasing power adapts to our business needs. What's in your wallet?
Getting that perfect slice is satisfying, fulfilling, and rewarding too. But we don't do it for fun. We do it for fresh. Slice to order makes a sub above.
esta noche va a ser la mejor de tu vida. Dime si te quieres acostar.
Rated every.
Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Jersey Mike Subs. Be a sub above. And by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Back in New York City, 6 solo home runs for the Yankees and an 8-0 lead as we stretch at Yankee Stadium. Above and Beyond, sponsored by Jersey Mike's, looking at all 6 of those Yankee home runs. 2 of them coming from Aaron Judge. 1 of them coming from Giancarlo Stanton, the hardest hit ball in baseball this year. Rizzo got 1. Torres got 1 for the second night in a row. Trevino got 1. You and me are the only guys that haven't hit home runs tonight. It's been something.
Well, they're taking advantage and flexing their muscles, no pun intended. When you are given some of the pitches they were given tonight, they have not missed them. And this lineup and this team has got such a confident swagger about them. Look, everybody was talking, and rightfully so, when the season started about the Toronto Blue Jays. Young, upcoming. And what the Yankees basically said is, not yet, right?
Yeah.
Like, they did a nice job taking care of the schedule this year to this point, and they took advantage of taking care of the Toronto Blue Jays when they played them. And that's what you have to do when you're expected to win a championship, or you're a championship city like this is. It's now the New York Yankees' job to eliminate the drought that they have been on. Dodgers did it a couple years ago, and now I'm sure they feel the pressure here in New York for the Yankees to kind of hoist another championship.
5 straight postseason trips for the Yanks. Lost in the wild card game last season to the Red Sox. Of course, the last pennant, the last World Championship, 2009. And around here, that is an extra long time to go.
It is.
Aaron Boone told us today that he felt right away at spring training a different vibe. Right away, it felt like this group was different. And the man at the plate, Anthony Rizzo, he says is a big part of that. A big part of creating this bigger bond with the team. Connectivity is the word that Aaron Boone used. He calls Anthony Rizzo a championship-type player. Of course, he's got one in 2016. But so many qualities about the guy that they love. He takes a strike from Rucker.
Well, when you think and hear that term, sure, I mean, having won one or multiple ones would be part of the resume when you hear a championship-type player, but not necessarily tied to rings. It's because he does all the things.
Into right center field for Hayward.
He does all the things that a championship player was showing up every day, giving himself as a teammate and passing on that knowledge and passing the torch. And look, the Yankees are glad they have him. First base has been an issue until recently, and they're hoping he's the guy for the next couple of years.
1 gone in the 7th, Giancarlo Stanton. And Rizzo did sign a 2-year deal, but it has an opt-out after this first year.
Inside!
One ball, no strikes on Stanton, who has one of the home runs tonight. His 13th. Fouls this one back. It's 1-1.
I mean, I just think the way this city's buzzing right now, you have obviously the Rangers trying to hang in and get to the Stanley Cup. You got both New York teams doing their thing, and man, can you imagine if football caught on here?
Yeah.
They got some success.
It's 2-1. Rangers are down 2-1. Or down, beg your pardon, 1-0. Midway through the second. Down 3 games to 2.
Tampa Bay going for 3 in a row.
Knees buckled there. 2-2 on Stanton. Rucker put it right where he wanted it. Like Jordan Montgomery did for a lot of the night. 7 shutout innings and in comfy position to get to 2-1 on the year.
Well, Jordan Montgomery did a great job changing speeds. He stayed out of the middle of the plate. Got a ton of ground balls, minus those strikeouts, and that's, you know, that two-seam sinker. No walks, the key, using his defense. Really never in trouble to that last inning. And, of course, for the first time, been given some run support.
Strike on Torres. Yeah, he's got his ERA down to 2.70, which puts him in the top 10 in the league. 2 more hits for Torres tonight, including another homer. 0-1 from Rucker is grounded foul. 0-2. Ow, that one hit his knee. Judging by that reaction. One and two. Got him with a fastball. 1-2-3 inning from Michael Rucker. Threw a 7 in New York. 8-0 Yanks.
It's easy to think that all money managers are pretty much the same, but at Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Different how? You saw high commission investment products, right?
Nope. Fisher avoids them.
Well, you must earn commissions on trades.
Never at Fisher Investments.
Okay, then you probably sneak in some hidden and layered fees.
No. We structure our fees so we do better when clients do better. That might be why most of our clients come from other money managers. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Your team is on a streak. A losing one. You need to scout some new career prospects.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do.
An Indeed resume gets right to work for you. It helps you adapt your skills and makes sure you stand out, so you can find that better fit fast.
Can you think of a time things didn't go as you planned?
How much time do we have?
Vision helps ease my mind. Kind of like having Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance so you only pay for what you need. Whoa! Look out. Minions are biting today.
Minions, The Rise of Gru, in theaters July 1st.
Hey!
Welcome to the future. Some assembly required. But if there's one thing this country has always embraced, it's a challenge. And after almost 120 years of building for those challenges, we're taking the vehicles you know by name and making them electric by revolutionizing the way they're built and where they're assembled. Not for the few, but for the many.
Panera chefs have crafted a masterpiece. Succulent seared chicken, a secret aioli, clean ingredients, in a buttery brioche roll made fresh to leave you speechless. Panera's new Chef's Chicken Sandwiches, $0 delivery fee for a limited time.
Hey, NASCAR fans, you got a chance to win $5,000 of Clint Moyer's cash tomorrow. Scan the QR code, download the Super 6 app, and enter your picks in the NASCAR Stage 2 contest for tomorrow's race. It's free to play. Just download the Super 6 app and enter now. Back at Yankee Stadium. Glad to have you with us on Baseball Night in America. Marwin Gonzalez comes into the game in right field. They get Giancarlo Stanton off his feet. And Ron Marinaccio, who got his first win last night with a scoreless 13th inning, is on here to face 2, 3, and 4. It's a ball on Wilson Contreras. 0 for 2 in this game. He was hit by a pitch, extended his on-base streak to 14. Going to be on the move, going to make somebody really happy. You figure it would be shocking to just with what the Cubs have done over the last year to see him stay. Could he wind up here? Jose Trevino's been amazing, looking better and better offensively. That is intriguing to think about Wilson Contreras fitting in with the Yankees.
Yeah.
The other catcher, Kyle Higashioka, who was in a timeshare with Trevino when the year began, but that's become more and more Trevino's job. Giants are another team that could really use a guy like Contreras. Joey Bart, who essentially took the job over from Buster Posey, has been sent down to AAA, so that hasn't worked out yet. Kirk Sally's doing the catching most days. It's been the top offensive catcher by a lot of measures since he debuted the championship run in 2016. Swings and misses. Good pitch, 2-2.
Great arm action, lower three-quarter, fastball, slider change, and that changeup just disappears when you're expecting a fastball from the same. The key to pitching is making every pitch come out of the same release point. No deviation. Hitter can't pick that up. Hitters are so good now. If you change your arm angle or lower it or raise it for any particular pitch, you can pick that up. You can eliminate pitches that way. And of course, unless you're tipping with your glove or tipping a pitch with your glove hand.
Leadoff walk.
It's funny when I came up and asked Wilson for the guard, the finger you stick out of your glove to put in a guard. You'd be amazed how many pitchers in their glove hand would stick their finger straight up on a fastball and bend it on a curveball or vice versa. And you wouldn't think about that because I like my finger out of the glove. That's why they have put a little sleeve there to put your finger in to prevent that movement. Like he doesn't have his finger out of his glove, so you can't tell there. But some ways the glove gets bigger, which means it would represent one pitch, or it gets tighter, which means another pitch. So those are the things as a pitcher, you're constantly making sure everyone watches you on your team, that you're not doing anything to give the hitter any kind of advantage that he shouldn't have.
Garnacho faces Jonathan VR. Runner at first, nobody out. And an 8-0 game in the 8th.
There was a pitcher in the league that had a mouth guard, that when his mouth guard would come out of his mouth, he was tipping a pitch. And when he bit down on his mouth guard, he was throwing another pitch. And it was amazing how consistent that was. And he didn't have good success until somebody found out or told him what he was doing. It's all those things that you have this idle time in baseball, and let's just say right now it's an 8-0 game and you kind of wander. There are guys on each club that will specifically look for things to gain advantage in the future and pay attention.
VR sends this one in there to left field for Gallo. And the first out of the 8th. And this is well within the bounds of what is accepted.
Oh, absolutely.
This is earning it.
Yeah, because you're looking, just like you look at a release point of a hand for any deviation or change, you're looking for the same thing with his glove. Because, look, hitting's hard. You don't know what's coming. Pitcher and the catcher know what's coming, and it's their job to decode what's coming and not, as a catcher, put your signs too low, or as an infielder, give it away based on a certain movement you make.
Strike one on Schwindel. One of the legendary guys of this era at finding tips is Chase Utley.
Yeah.
He used to study that forever. Especially as his career went on and he wasn't playing every single day like he was early on. Invested a lot of the free time into helping out that way.
Now, on the flip side, it can work against you if you're a bad team. When we were a bad team, we knew almost every pitch that Oral Hershiser was throwing during his shutout streak.
And it didn't matter?
Didn't matter. He was that good, and we were that bad.
1-2 on Schwindel. Couple hits tonight. 2 of the 5 for the Cubs. On a 1-2, he watches the bounce. 2-2.
The Yankees bullpen's filled with a couple different arm angles and really some different dynamic stuff that hitters were going to see different looks. In today's game, you're going to see, you know, the Rays are famous for like the arms of a clock going from 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock and all the different arm angles from the right and left hand side because they're trying to create
2 out.
A harder angle so that you're not, you know, seeing the same kind of pitcher. It helps him. Hides his arm a lot and then comes up almost 3/4, but starts out lower. It really does a good job turning that changeup over. I mean, almost screwball-like action.
With 2 gone, it's Rafael Ortega.
Good.
Download the MLB app to get video highlights, live pitch by pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your favorite team and the rest of the league. Rafael Ortega made it to the majors when he was 21. That was in 2012. He's thinking, I've made it. Over the next 8 years, he played a total of 140 games. Out in front here, he's behind 0-2. He's granted free agency 7 times. Signed a minor league contract with the Cubs last year. Came up in late May. And as a 30-year-old, in his 14 pro years, stayed in the majors for the very first time. Been swinging it well lately for him, but in an 0-2 hole, that takes the ball. They had a few guys last year who weren't young, but were very inexperienced and got a chance to show what they could do. Took advantage of that. Guys like Wisdom and Schwindel and Ortega. On a 1-2 pitch, he watches strike 3. Bullpen work continues for the Yankees. Back the last few days, they've not given up anything. They lead 8-0, middle 8.
You getting some gas?
Just using your squeegee.
Well, the squeegee kind of comes with gas.
Squeegee isn't free?
Oh, that's free with gas.
Yeah, but it's a plug-in hybrid. I don't need gas.
Well, no gas, no squeegee.
No gas, no squeegee?
No gas, no squeegee?
No gas, no squeegee.
Now free squeegee?
Now free squeegee.
Squeegee.
Evolve your journey beyond the pump in the first ever Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EV.
I love my new home. I always wanted a house with historic architecture, but it might be too Victorian.
Gosh, interesting hemline on this. Pants?
Yes, I do believe they're called pants.
Pardon me.
No, pardon me. At least Geico makes bundling my home and car insurance easy. I save so much.
I have come to call upon...
Just text me. Well, I'm heading up.
It's a ghost.
For bundling made easy, go to geico.com.
It's called self-care.
Ace now offers free assembly and delivery. So it's never been easier to get a great grill for your family, like a Traeger wood pellet grill, Weber gas grill, or Big Green Egg charcoal grill. Only at your neighborhood Ace.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
It only takes a second for an everyday item to become dangerous. Tide Pod's Child Guard Pack helps keep your laundry packs in a safe place and your child safer. To close, twist until it clicks. Tide Pod's Child Guard packaging.
The Eat Fresh Refresh just won't stop. Now Subway's refreshing their catering with easy order platters and lunch boxes perfect for any party. Pool parties, tailgates, holiday parties, even retirement parties.
Man, I love parties.
Subway keeps refreshing and refreshing.
Carefully crafted with Valencia orange peel, Blue Moon is one of a kind. Something this unique could hang in a gallery, but it looks best in our signature glass. Blue Moon, one of a kind, every time.
Looking for more stats? Just ask Siri, who leads MLB in home runs.
gotta guess. He's added 2 tonight. 24 for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, he is he's on his game, as they say.
Aaron Hicks leads off this inning. Michael Rucker, and his third inning of work, misses inside ball 1. Hicks walked and scored his last time, looking for his first hit of the weekend after 3 straight 2-hit games. Showed some signs of life in Minnesota. A little bit like Joey Gallo, they can afford to wait for him to come around. Well, 1, because they don't have many other options there. 2, because they're 42-16, even though he's not doing anything yet. Swatted to left. Hangs up for Ortega, who was able to battle that ball and pull it in. Now the Yankees playing their 59th game of the year tonight. The most home runs that a Yank has ever hit through 59 games. How about that list?
It's a great list anytime you got to go back that many years.
And a couple decent players on there. Strike on Kiner Falefa.
This is a sneaky pickup for the Yankees because you're not going to see a lot of home runs in that category, but you're going to see a lot more contact. And again, it goes back to moving the lineup along, getting singles, getting hits, putting pressure on the defense. This kind of guy has been known to be that guy, to get a lot of singles, hit up the middle, not swing and miss a lot.
And those are the sprinkles on top of the ice cream, which is the defense. Defense has been a calling card for him throughout his career. And the big reason the Yankees acquired him. On a 1-2 from Michael Rucker. Kiner Falefa takes low, and it's 2-2. You've got Kiner Falefa at short, Donaldson added at third. That moved, those 2 moves did move Gleyber Torres to second. And they went from one of the worst defensive teams in baseball so far to, by a couple standard measures there, and fielding percentage and errors, one of the best, and the more advanced measures as well. And there's bat to ball and banged into center for his second hit.
He knows what he's good at. He stays up the middle. He stays within his game, and he's not caught up in trying to hit for power. Let somebody else do that. He's got some pretty good teammates that can do that.
Well, tonight, one of the guys that is hit for power around him is an unlikely guy to do that. Jose Trevino. Had a home run, one of the 6 for the Yankees, and for Trevino, his 4th in his last 13 games. Old Ranger teammates, these two, Kiner Falefa and Trevino. Acquired in different trades, though. Trevino was picked up right before the start of the season, right before opening day when Ben Rortvedt was hurt. They got Kiner Falefa in that 5-player deal with the Twins one day after the Twins had got him from the Rangers. So Kiner Falefa goes from being kind of buried in the minors because the Rangers had Beltre at third, they had Andrus at short, Rougned Odor was killing it at second. So they had him start to catch, even though he's a good infielder, just as a path to get him to the major leagues. First year that he focused on playing the infield, he won a Gold Glove at third. That was in 2020. Last year was Kiner Falefa's first full season in the majors. Also wound up being his last year in Texas. He gets traded twice in a 48-hour span this spring, and now blinks, and he's the everyday shortstop of the New York Yankees. Went around, and Trevino's retired for the first time tonight. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Hyundai and the 2022 Tucson and Santa Fe plug-in hybrid EVs, and by Geico. Switch today and see all the ways you could save.
1 in the first, 2 in the fourth, 3 in the fifth, 2 in the sixth. Joey Gallo trying to get off the schneid. 0 for 3 with a couple Ks tonight. This is 3 straight old Rangers at the bottom. It's amazing. Again, comfort level, being with one club. Team really wasn't in a position to be in the playoffs. He's hitting for his power. He goes to the Yankees, and of course everyone talks about, rightfully so, oh my, is he going to do damage to the right field porch here at Yankee Stadium.
That thing is as high as you're ever going to see a ball hit. See where it comes down. Let's go to the 9th at Yankee Stadium. It's 8-0 New York.
Attention. Ever, because you are entitled to more.
If you've been impacted, act now. You may be eligible to receive up to $1,000 from T-Mobile.
And you should listen to me. I'm a British actor.
You ever wonder why people are always on their phones? They're banking with Bank of America. Look at this guy. He bought those tickets on his credit card and he's racking up the rewards.
She's using Zelle to pay him back for the hot dogs he's about to buy.
That's going to bring it to a close here after 3.
He's not checking the stats. He's finding some investment ideas with Merrill.
And third, as you know, in baseball means 3.
Digital tools so impressive, you just can't stop banking. What would you like the power to do?
Lemons. Lemons, lemons, lemons. Look how nice they are. The moment you become an Expedia member, you can instantly start saving on your travels. So you can go and see all those lovely, lemony lemons. And never wonder if you got a good deal. Because you did.
Why is it your grocery order arrives the second you remember everything you forgot to order? Like, without fail.
Who drank all the milk?
Fresh groceries and more. Unlimited free delivery, Walmart Plus.
It has been a power display for the Yankees tonight. 6 solo home runs. Most this season for the Yanks. On their way to their 10th win out of their last 11. Don Gomes leads off this inning for the Cubs. And Lucas Litke, who went 2 1/3 in relief of Garrett Cole on Thursday. And what was his best game of the year. Helped the Yankees steady that ship, come from behind to win. Litke, 36 years old, last year reached the majors for the first time in 6 years. Pitched for the Mariners in 2015, and then he went all over the place from one organization to the next before making it back. Here's a grounder to Donaldson, and there's the first out of the 9th.
Yeah, he's a mix and match guy. Doesn't overpower you, spins it. Fastball, slider, curveball. It's amazing, right? Yesterday, 13 innings. Yankees score 1 run and then finally get their second run, and then they come out tonight against a pretty hot pitcher and get 8 on the board real quick.
As our friend John down the hall would say, that's baseball, Susan. P.J. Higgins, first at bat of the night. He came on defensively a couple innings ago. He takes a strike from Litke. The Cubs are going to suffer their 5th consecutive loss. As this, they're not going to call it rebuilding year, but rebuilding year continues.
Yeah, and we asked, David Ross, and just the change of perspective. And he said, well, I'm probably going to learn to be more patient. If I'm in position to win games, obviously my instincts kick in. I'm going to win games, but I have to see and develop and see what develops right through this team. And
Outside.
See what you've got, right? See what you need. Jed Hoyer, the GM, has said it doesn't have to be like, and it probably can't be like the previous rebuild. 5 straight last place finishes, 100 loss season, and it doesn't need to be like that, Jed Hoyer said, and they're planning on doing everything they can to avoid that long, slow rebuild, complete teardown. Because for every Cubs and Astro rebuild, there are other ones that haven't gone that way. Line to center, caught by Hicks. 2 gone in the 9th. Next Saturday on Fox, Baseball Night in America comes back. A rematch of the 2013 Fall Classic. A couple hot teams. First place Cardinals and the Red Sox. Also the Guardians and the Dodgers. Next Saturday, 7 Eastern on Fox and the Fox Sports app. I can't wait to go to Fenway for that one. Cards, Red Sox, 2 really intriguing teams.
Yeah, the Red Sox playing much better. I mean, they got off to a really tough start, and now they're playing and hitting like they should. I mean, we could basically have 3 divisions with big leads and 3 divisions that could have some interchanging leaders to it. And the Cardinals have overtaken the Brewers temporarily, and you got the Central and American League that's probably up for grabs. And right now, the West, even though the Dodgers should handle it,
city that doesn't sleep, and my It's up to you, New York, New York, New Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues are melting away. I'll make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that never sleeps and find I'm a number one, top of the list, king of the hill, a number one. These little town blues are melting away. I'm gonna make a brand new start of it in old New York. If I can make it there, I'm gonna make it anywhere. It's up to you, New York, New York, New York. Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be part of it. New York, New York. These vagabond shoes are longing to stray right through the very heart of it. New York, New York. I want to wake up in a city that doesn't sleep and find I'm king of the hill, top of the heap. These little town blues It's up to you, New York, New York, New Start spreading the news. I'm leaving today. I want to be part of it. New York, New